For the first time this season, the Edmonton Rush are in rebound mode after dropping their first game of the season to the Mammoth last night. The no longer perfect Rush are in Calgary, where the Roughnecks look to send a powerful message before the playoffs. It's the Roughnecks and Rush live on the Lacrosse Network. Good evening and welcome to the Scotiabank Saddledome. My name is Grant Farrell, set to bring you tonight's game between the Edmonton Rush and the Calgary Roughnecks. As always, Ryan Ballantyne with me. The Edmonton Rush putting together a near-perfect season so far before they ran into the Mammoth last night. So for the first time, Ryan, we see how this team deals with a bit of adversity.
Well, it's interesting to think, well, they've locked up the #1 overall seed in the West. They've locked up the #1 overall seed in the National Lacrosse League, and yet we still have questions to ask about the Edmonton Rush. And that question tonight is, are they capable of bouncing back from a loss? Never mind a loss, but a loss on back-to-back nights where they had to travel from Denver to get here. They traveled late last night, they got in this morning, so it'll be interesting to see now whether or not the Rush can handle not just coming off a loss, but also what are they going to be able to do with the back-to-back?
Now the Edmonton Rush have to feel confident against this Calgary squad. They have beat them by 7 and 8 goals so far this season. This is the first of 2 tilts remaining before the season wraps up here in Calgary, one more up in Edmonton. The Calgary Roughnecks are locked into the 2nd seed. The Rush have #1 locked up, so there's not actually a lot standing-wise for these two teams to play for. How important, though, Ryan, is it for the Roughnecks to show that they can play and hang with this Rush team?
2 schools of thought on this one, Grant. The first one, of course, meaning you want to send the Rush a message. You want to say, hey, you know what, we're coming for you, and we're going to prove tonight that we are a better team than we've been against you, and so we're going to put our absolute foot on your throat, come out early, come out often like they have been the last couple weeks. On the other side, you look at, okay, well, what's the overall goal of the season? The goal of the season is to win a championship. So do you give them a vanilla look in this game if you're the Calgary Roughnecks, not showing off what you're capable of, not showing off what you can do, and saving that for a potential playoff matchup against the Edmonton Rush? And why give them the game tape against your own defense when at the end of the day it's going to be that team that you have to go through if you want to make it to that Champions Cup final?
Now, in terms of lineups, we should make note of the fact that a couple of changes for the Calgary Roughnecks. First of all, healthy scratches. Matthew Dinsdale and Travis Cornwall will sit down, that in part because Scott Ranger back with the team now after being unavailable due to his teaching commitments for part of the season. He returned last weekend in those back-to-back wins on the road. And, of course, on defense and in transition, Curtis Manning is available this weekend, so that's why those changes are happening. However, the captain, Andrew McBride, Ryan, on IR with an ankle problem. That means he is a scratch from this one, and Dane Doby will be wearing the C in his stead.
Yeah, Andrew McBride went down during that game in Philly last week, a win over the Wings, and was also absent for the second game of that 2-game weekend against Buffalo. So we'll see what the defense can do. They played very well without Andrew McBride last week. We'll see what they're able to do this week. But of course, anytime you have a captain out of the game, it kind of affects your team. Now, could they have picked a better guy in Dane Doby to be the captain of the club for tonight's game? I don't think so. Dane Doby is the straw that stirs the drink for this team emotionally. When Dane Doby's not in the lineup, this team has said to us, Grant, that they don't feel like they're ready to go. They don't feel as up at the beginning of the game as they do with Doby in it. So now that Doby is in the game here tonight, a good choice for the captaincy based on his impact on the Calgary Roughnecks.
Dane Doby also 5 goals from hitting the 50-goal mark, and with that he would also match Lewis Ratcliffe for the single season goal mark That is the team record. And again, 5 goals from that mark, matching the record and hitting 50 for Dane Dobie. So we'll be watching for that tonight as well, as we see the Edmonton Rush hit the floor now, led by their outstanding goalie, Aaron Bold, who does get the start tonight. His numbers simply gaudy this season. An overall record, our goals against average of 8.49, save percentage just about touching 800, 13-1 record. Mike Poulin, 10-4, 11.73 goals against average, and a save percentage of 77%. So that's your goaltending matchup tonight, and Aaron Bold, as always, will be a critical factor in this one for the Edmonton Rush. We'll take you down to the floor for the national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our sons' command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
All right, we're just about ready to get this one underway here at the Scotiabank Saddledome between the Calgary Roughnecks and the Edmonton Rush. This one also a good-looking matchup between two of the best transition players in the league. Jeff Schneider, once again, leading the league with loose balls and face-off wins, 66.5% on the season overall. He'll be opposed by Jeremy Thompson, 5th in the league in loose balls, 3rd in face-off wins, 54% on the season, and a very dangerous player at both ends of the floor, Ryan.
Yeah, both these guys do an excellent job of getting their offense started by getting offense. Both Jeff Schneider and Jeremy Thompson this season more than capable of the scoop and score, where it's the face-off win, you go immediately down the floor and you score a goal. Often can kill momentum for another team or greatly boost the momentum if you're coming off a goal yourselves.
Absolutely, and that is your face-off battle tonight that we'll keep an eye on. Jeremy Thompson has been a thorn in the side of the Roughnecks this season, and Zach Greer, really the last few seasons, has really done some damage against the Calgary Roughnecks. A hat trick last time these two teams met here in Calgary, and every time the Rush and the Roughnecks play, Ryan, seems like Zach Greer has a good one.
Yeah, Zach Greer, it's funny when you see Curtis Dixon has a similar success against the Rush in his career, scoring a hat trick a game for the first, I think, 6 games of his National Lacrosse League career that Curtis Dixon played against the Edmonton Rush. He was firing hat tricks. So it seems like there are teams that certain guys get up for. The Calgary Roughnecks seem to be that team for Zach Greer.
Absolutely. Good crowd on hand here at the Dome in Calgary tonight to watch what is the last regular season home game for the Calgary Roughnecks. They do know they have at least one home playoff date. It'll be either against the Mammoth or the Stealth. That is still to be decided. As this one gets underway and possession awarded to the Calgary Roughnecks, they will get their first crack down at the offensive end of the floor. Jeff Schattler has the ball. Schattler delivers it to Dane Dobie off the bench. Dobie then to Dixon. Dixon runs away from some traffic, now to Dobie. Dobie gets hit hard, as putting him down was Kyle Rubish. Ball goes all the way back to the Calgary end of the floor, and that is a physical way for the Rush to get their game started, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming off the loss last night, they're going to want to show the Calgary Roughnecks that they are the same Edmonton Rush that has already beaten the Roughnecks in dominating fashion twice this season.
Now a chance and scores! Curtis Knight cashing in on the chance. Good ball movement there for the Rush, and it's 1-0 Edmonton.
Yeah, he gets just behind Tor Reinhold there and puts it 5-hole on Mike Poulin to make good on the first shot of the game. And again, a quick start vital here for the Rush, who again, coming off that loss, need to show that they're the team that they want to be.
Now, Thompson down the floor with a nice pass to Metzke, but he puts it over the net. Actually, looks like Poulin did get a piece of that. So the Rush that close to going up 2-0 in that game do retain possession here. And we'll get a second crack as we're just in the first 60 seconds of this one already. A 1-0 Edmonton lead at nearly 2-0 there. Church has it, the rookie. Passes off tonight, the goal scorer in this one, and now the team lead in goals. He was tied with Zach Greer entering this game tonight. Now the leader, Church with the ball now. Nice pass, and there's a good opportunity for Lowen. He can't hit the net, though, and Calgary gets the ball. Carson Leung, the rookie for Calgary, steps over center. Leung thought about a move, then thought better of it. Instead goes back to Evans. Evans gives to Scott Ranger. They go back and forth. Evans with the ball now. Looking for help, hangs on, flip pass. Here's Ranger in, tight, scores! Scott Ranger, 1-1, we're tied.
A nice feed there from Sean Evans from the corner. He drew the double team, and immediately they're challenging this one from the Edmonton bench as they don't like what they see from Derek Keenan. Thought maybe Ranger was a little too close to the crease, and we'll get our first challenge of the game. But if it stands, Scott Ranger getting a nice play there, a nice feed and finish.
Well, I confess, when I first saw that goal, I immediately looked to the official to see it, to look for it to be waved off, as it looked like it was tight to me. We'll get a look at the replay. I frankly was surprised when the initial call was goal. So this is probably a sensible challenge. It was a quick challenge, to be sure, as we get a look here. Foot's down there. Where is the ball?
The ball at that point is behind Bold.
But is it behind the line? Got a good look. Well, you're not going to tell it there.
Yeah, that won't give you the look you're looking for. So you can see the ball there in front of the referee. It just gets to the shoulder of Bold, and there's the foot down. So the question is if it's behind Bold before the foot lands, and I'm not sure that you're going to find anything conclusive, certainly on that angle,
not
or
that
that
angle.
one. That one's not going to be any help.
I mean, I would, to be perfectly honest, I would suspect that the ball's not behind Bold by the time the foot comes down.
Well, the ball's behind Bold. I mean, we'll see if he dials it back. Of course, we're just watching the referee's controls of it. Oh, and here we might get our best look. Well, again, it doesn't really kind of.
I mean, this is going to come down to the fact that, or it could come down to the fact that, again, the call
no
on the floor stands, which in this case was goal. I don't see anything conclusive there. We'll get the ruling now. They are going to call that a goal. I suspect if the initial call had been no goal, that the ruling would be no goal as well. There's simply nothing you can tell from the replay there, despite the always good efforts from the crew downstairs to get all the angles on tape.
Yeah, typically in Calgary, there's often no discussion about whether or not it's a goal or no goal. We know right from go whether or not it's going to be a goal up here, but nevertheless, this time not conclusive enough to overturn it. And Scotty Ranger has his 5th of the season.
Yeah, keep in mind, Scott Ranger missed some time, really the bulk of the middle of the season, because of his teaching commitments, and returned to the team for those 2 road games a week ago and for the playoff push. Back in the lineup and with the goal here to make it 1-1 now, 13 and a half minutes to go. Here's another chance, and off the bar. Ranger that close to his 2nd of the quarter. Ball comes all the way back to Dilks out near center. He turns back as Calgary got back nicely on defense, and Dan McRae out there. The pressure by Calgary, and Conway couldn't do anything with it, just throws it away to the corner. Good defense there, and now here's Tor Reinhold in transition for the Roughnecks. Tor Reinhold with some room, tries a shot, but getting in the way of that was Metzke, and now the Rush have numbers going back the other way, 2-on-1 developing, and in transition here is Metzke, all the way, shoots, wide of the net, rebound comes back, misses both Rush forwards, including Mark Matthews, who looked like he might be point blank there. Instead, Calgary takes over now, and here is Curtis Dixon.
Yeah, good defense by Jeff Schattler. The stick check caused the shot from Minsky to go wide, and Schattler very aggressive on the back check on both those opportunities.
Now here is Dane Doby. Doby swings it all the way across to the other side. And there's Evans. Evans tries to shake off a check, curls around his man. Evans still with it. And then he tried to pass off instead of perhaps shooting in that case. Now a battle for it. And Jeff Cornwall is there for the Edmonton Rush to pick up the loose ball. 12 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 1-1 the score here between the Rush and the Roughnecks. Cornwall dishes off as they work it around to Knight, the goal scorer for the Rush. Knight muscled off towards the center area. Now Knight all the way to the net. And a nice save there by Poulin as just the sea parted for Curtis Knight as he found himself one-on-one with Poulin. Poulin makes the nice save though. Rush get the loose ball. This is Conway. Conway hanging on. Tries to pass across. Eventually does arrive to Greer. Now Greer has it. Still tons of time on the shot clock and scores! Zach Greer finds just enough space between the wickets of Poulin, and 2-1 Edmonton leads.
Yeah, like you mentioned in the pregame there, Grant, Zach Greer, just one of those guys that gets it done, and that one squeaks through Mike Poulin, and he'll be a little upset after that one, not quite getting it closed enough, and Greer doubles up the score for the Rush, making it 2-1.
Both offenses so far in this one, Ryan, a little disjointed. There's been good opportunities, but they've kind of come a lot on broken plays.
Yeah, it seems like, again, when you've got two teams that are as good defensively as these two teams are, you kind of need to find the opportunity and find the open man. And so you might find that the offensive sets are a little less this time, or in this game, than you might see in a typical NLL game.
Face-off win by Thompson all the way down the floor. Here's a Metsky opportunity. He passes off, and then a double-team penalty upcoming to the Calgary Roughnecks. Bold goes to the bench. Thompson with it. He passes. The Rush get the extra man on there. 6-on-5. They now work it around. 15 seconds on the shot clock, and now we get another whistle, and I think we're going to get a Rush penalty, as I believe it was Snyder who was dumped, perhaps by Thompson.
Jeremy Thompson's trying to run to the bench like, what, me? He and Jeff Snyder were wrestling in front of the net. You can see we might get the open on it here. There, obviously that's a bit of nastiness. But yeah, Jeff Snyder and Jeremy Thompson. You remember a few weeks ago when Edmonton was here in Calgary, it was it looks like 5 minutes each for roughing.
And then plus the extra penalty to Carson Leung.
The original penalty, the holding penalty to Carson Leung.
The Edmonton power play 44.6% on the season. The PK for Calgary 65%. This is the first power play of the evening for the Edmonton Rush as they work it around. Conway playing the top, Matthews to the right of him, and Greer down low on that right side. Matthews has it now. He goes on top to Conway. Now they reset things as Church goes over to the right side. They load up on that side. Conway hangs on, still with it. Now he tries to pass off to Church. Comes to Matthews. He tries to whip it across to Knight. Real good PK work there by the Calgary Roughnecks. Has absolutely nothing available for the Edmonton Rush.
Yeah, good D there. And like I was saying earlier, Grant, both these teams very effective defensively. The Roughnecks penalty kill very effective as well. And with guys like Dan McRae out on the floor doing what he does, they'll do everything they can to make the most of their opportunities.
Jeff Shatler with the shorthanded opportunity there. It's wide. Dobie behind the net, comes out the other side. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Calgary's going to start to get the defense out there, and Dobie will just leave the ball in the corner. Where picking up there for the Rush is Kyle Rubish. They have 57 seconds remaining on that Carson Leung penalty. And they now enter the Calgary zone. Here is Knight. Knight passes off to Church. To Conway, same setup as last time as they work it to Matthews, back to Conway. Conway loads and fires, that's wide. Comes out the other side in the hands of John Harnett. Harnett has a man in transition. There's the pass, the opportunity, and getting back to interrupt Mike Carnegie where the Edmonton Rush on D. Nice play there to take away the shorty opportunity, and the score remains 2-1 with 9:53 to go in the first quarter. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
Support the National Lacrosse League and show the world you're a fan with team merchandise from the National Lacrosse League official online store, shop.nll.com. You'll find a great selection of National Lacrosse League team items, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, accessories, and more. You'll also find great customer service, 365-day hassle-free returns, and fast shipping. So show the world you support the National Lacrosse League with official gear from shop.nll.com.
Here's a shot, Dixon to the net, scores! Curtis Dixon again! It's 11-10 Calgary!
Want more great NLL action? Subscribe to the Lacrosse Network on your computer, tablet, or mobile device for access to all the games, live on YouTube. Get highlight reels, interactive player interviews, and behind-the-scenes coverage on all your favorite teams. YouTube.com/TLN. Subscribe today.
Fans, get some new team gear for the season by visiting the NLL shop online. Go to shop.nll.com for the best prices and selection on clothing and accessories for all 9 teams with flat rate shipping and no hassle returns. The NLL shop is your place for all things NLL. Visit shop.nll.com today, powered by Fanatics. 2-1, the Edmonton Rush lead Calgary. 9:53 to go in the first quarter, still 33 seconds remaining in the Edmonton Rush power play. So far, good work on the penalty kill by the Roughnecks, Ryan.
Yeah, the Roughnecks so far, I mean, a minute 27 gone by, and they've done a pretty good job of stifling the Edmonton Rush attack. And with 33 seconds left, it's just one more possession for the Edmonton Rush, likely to try and solve Mike Poulin and the Calgary penalty killers.
This time Matthews is playing the top. He has the ball now, goes to Church. Church swings it across the other side. Greer in there. Nice save by Poulin as Zach Greer tries to beat Poulin. Nothing doing there. And now Calgary in transition. Ball gets ahead of John Harnett. Has to chase it down. He's got Dan McRae with him and also help off the bench. He gives it to Daryl Veltman. And Calgary winds down the last couple seconds of that power play for Edmonton. So the Rush now 0 for 1 on the evening, though they lead 2-1. Carson Leung into the play now out of the penalty box. He hands off, and here's Evans dishing between some players. Now penalty coming up to the Edmonton Rush. Poulin to the bench, and as the Rush touch it, I think we're going to get a holding call against Brett Metzke.
Yeah, it is indeed a holding call as Evans was trying to bust towards the net, and that wasn't necessarily the play right there, but just before that, Sean Evans was trying to break through the net, got double teamed, almost got taken down, and Metzke will sit for 2 or less.
The power play for Calgary, 54% heading into the evening action. The penalty kill for the Edmonton Rush equally as good at 55%, so this is a good matchup here on special teams. Daryl Veltman playing the top. He's got Evans to his left, and he's got Doby to his right. He goes back and forth with Evans a couple times. Evans now has the ball to Doby, and a nice save there by Aaron Bold as he goes post to stop the 45-goal man of the Calgary Roughnecks. Dane Doby leads the league. Now Dilk's running away, short-handed in transition, pulls up. Looks like he might have had a step there, but Daryl Veltman did a nice job to stick with him there on defense and force him to at least hold off on trying one on the net there. Now the Edmonton Rush working short-handed, still a minute 25 in this Calgary power play. There's a shot by Davis. That's off the foot of Mike Poulin. Harnett can't control the loose ball. Battle for it on the wall here. Pete McFedridge in there for the Calgary Roughnecks as well. And we get a whistle, and they're going to give possession to the Calgary Roughnecks. Pardon me, it's to the Edmonton Rush. Davis picks it up, and then it's chopped out of his hands. In fact, his whole stick was chopped out. However, Chris Corbeil comes up with it. 20 seconds on the shot clock, so opportunity here for Edmonton to kill off a good chunk of this power play for the Calgary Roughnecks. They've had it down on this end of the floor for some time. Conway has it now for the Edmonton Rush. Conway working out there with Davis. Now gives it to Davis. Actually off the bench, hits Greer. Greer spins off a check, puts it wide of the net, gets his own rebound, tries another shot. That hits Harnett. And with the 30 seconds winding down, Calgary will get possession back here with 38 seconds in the Brett Metzke minor penalty.
The Roughnecks were a little lucky there momentarily. They just left the ball and got their offensive set on the floor. The referee blew it in with nobody near the ball, just not willing to let the Roughnecks wait for that.
Evans tries to find Shatler. Shatler has to take it off the boards. Now Shatler to the net, gives it to Dane Doby, and we get a whistle, and the Edmonton Rush get the ball back, infraction off the ball there. And now just 15 seconds remaining on the power play. Edmonton will kill off the remainder of this, and Calgary will now be 0 for 1 on the power play to match Edmonton Rush with that, as both teams fail to cash in their first 5-on-4 opportunities of this game. 2-1 the score remains as now Metzke's out of the box. He'll come into the play right away, stay out there on offense. Quick pass across in front to find Riley Lowen, doesn't work, and Calgary takes over. Jeff Snyder has a hard time picking up the ball. Now finally does scoop it. He's going to have to move it quickly. Bounces it ahead to Dan McRae. And now McRae has Curtis Dixon. Dixon passes off to Scott Ranger development. Now to Dane Doby. Dane Doby spins off his man. Now nice pass to Veltman. Veltman passes on the opportunity. Back to Doby. Shoots and scores! Dane Doby with number 46 on the year, and it's 2-2.
Ball movement is essential when you've got a goalie as hot as Aaron Bold has been all season. And the Roughnecks passing up on a shot, looked like Veltman was going to shoot. He passes off to Evans, who looks like he's going to shoot. He passes it over to Dobie. Dobie puts it home. And all of a sudden, we're tied back at 2.
Yeah, I thought maybe Veltman passed on a good opportunity there, but you can't argue with the results there as Calgary gets the tying goal with some fantastic passing. Dane Dobie, the goal leader in the NLL with 46, now 4 shy of that 50 mark. Now Edmonton with a chance as they get the ball. Conway has it on the Calgary end of the floor. Gets the return feed. Conway then checked, and to the ground he goes. Nice defense there by Dan McRae. Battle still for it, and Tor Reinhold finds it, picks it up. Carson Leung has to try and fight it in transition. Went off his foot at one point, and now back the other way comes Jeremy Thompson for the Edmonton Rush. Thompson has help off the bench. However, again, the Edmonton Rush dropped the ball there. Now Pete McFedridge, the long strides all the way down the floor to Harnett. Harnett shoots, and Bold gets a piece of that one. Again, Ryan, just some sloppy play from both teams. Haven't seen this from the Edmonton Rush this season.
No, a little bit of a scramble from the Edmonton Rush, dropping the ball, and the Roughnecks playing pressure defense, not allowing them any room, which is what the Colorado Mammoth did very well last night. Swallowed the room, don't allow them any room to work and put pressure on them, and it's certainly working for the Roughnecks to this point.
Now Jeff Shatler with the bounce shot. Bold takes it off the chest, quickly up with it, plays it ahead to Dilks in transition. Dilks has a pass to the net, shoots, and Poulin with a big save. Rebound to Dilks, he shoots, and Poulin another save as Mike Poulin with back-to-back big stops.
Yeah, Dilks right on the doorstep with 2 golden chances. Mike Poulin standing tall, as he needs to do tonight.
Shots on goal 8-7, a little bit of an edge there for the Edmonton Rush. 2-2 on the scorecard with 4:40 to go here in the first quarter. Veltman behind the net has Evans. Evans comes out, shoots, and a nice save there by Bold as Evans spun and fired. Now an opportunity, but we get a whistle on the play as Corbeil had the breakaway.
As a loose ball foul from the Edmonton Rush.
And I think we might even have a penalty here. We'll sort it out when we get back. 4:32 to go, 2-2 your score. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
Come on, boys, let's go get him, man.
Back on track tonight. We're going out here. We're in our barn. No one touches us here tonight. Come in here tonight. We're in the high field. Let's go. Fire it up here. Greatness on 3. 1, 2, 3. Greatness!
Rock versus Buffalo, Friday, April 18th. For the best ticket in town, visit TorontoRock.com.
Fans, the best way to get ready for the weekend's action is by watching NLL Live every Thursday night on the Lacrosse Network. Catch the show live at 8 Eastern or on demand anytime at the home of the Lacrosse Network, youtube.com/TLN. This past week's special guest was Ryan Benesch of the Buffalo Bandits. 2-2 your score here tonight in Calgary between the Edmonton Rush and the Calgary Roughnecks. Already this game going far better for the Roughnecks than what we saw a few weeks ago here in Calgary between these two clubs.
Yeah, in that first quarter, Edmonton absolutely put the boots to Calgary, and a 2-2 score with 5 minutes to go, much more preferable for the team.
The Rush with the ball here. Knight plays it behind the net. Quick pass, doesn't connect. Matthews tries to track it down. Nice job by the Calgary defense to chop it, though. Now Dan McRae has a chance, loses his stick, tries to kick it to his teammate. Still a battle for it, and finally Manning picks it up and plays it ahead to Dan McRae, who now has his stick back. McRae trying to curl away from some traffic, finds Jeff Shatler off the bench. Shatler now to Daryl Veltman as they go back and forth. Shatler now plays it to Sean Evans. Evans tries to find Doby, who was cutting through the slot. That doesn't work, and the Edmonton Rush now have numbers back the other way, and the speed there. Breakaway chance, and Jeff Cornwall can't beat Mike Poulin as he turned on the Jets and got in one-on-one, but Poulin with another nice save.
Credit Sean Evans, too, for hustling to get back off the bench. Maybe Cornwall had to shoot a little sooner than he wanted to as Greg Harnett was bearing down.
The Edmonton Rush create the turnover on defense. And now down the floor, 2-2, looking for the go-ahead goal here with 3:15 to go in the first quarter. Here's Conway. Conway passes off to Zach Greer. Greer curls away from his man, back to Conway. Conway now to Knight. Knight now looking for a lane, shoots, and Poulin another save. Rebound was available briefly, but scooped up nicely by the rookie, Carson Leung. And Leung now in transition, showing his speed. Leung with a path. Now greeted by the Rush defense, so he curls off. Drops the ball. Chops it against the wall. It takes a hit, too. And the Edmonton Rush take over with Jean Lafontaine picking up. Now ahead to Jeremy Thompson. Thompson, flip pass. Finds his man, and now here's Knight. Knight with one goal in this game. Nice pass in there. Church shoots and scores. Robert Church, the rookie, with a nice goal. Edmonton back out in front, 3-2.
Yeah, this one's just some confusion on the Roughnecks D. Church left all alone for days, all by himself. And when you give a player with that kind of talent, that kind of time, he's going to put it home behind Mike Poole and make it a 3-2 lead for Edmonton.
Yeah, Church, a good-looking rookie for the Edmonton Rush, showing his hands there. Face-off contested and won by Snyder, who then goes back to Pete McFedridge. McFedridge, another fraction away from the ball, and again,
that's an 8-second violation. McFedridge arguing, but the referee saying that the ball did not cross center before that 8 seconds expired.
We'll see if Edmonton can cash in on this opportunity. And then the ball thrown away. We'll see if this comes over center. Church tries to save it. Then he's checked over the line by Pete McFedridge. So number 80 makes up for that mistake immediately and gets his team the ball back. Now Harnett has Daryl Veltman. Veltman goes to Sean Evans. Evans tries to get a step. Now to Veltman, who goes behind the back. Bold the save. Rebound controlled by the Edmonton Rush. And now here's John Lintz in transition. That's a new one from Daryl Veltman we don't see.
No, trying to channel his inner Dane Doby on that one, going behind the back.
There's a nice turnover by Dan McRae. McRae's away to the races. Has some help with them. Curls off. Now tries the shot. Scores! Dan McRae floats one in there and beats Aaron Bold as Dan McRae continues to have a great season.
Dan McRae recently named one of the most underrated players in the National Lacrosse League by a poll done, and shows just why, if he keeps playing like this, he's certainly not going to be an underrated player for long. Dan McRae with a nice goal behind Aaron Bold ties it up, and the Basement Nation can celebrate.
1:30 to go here in the first quarter, and it is 3-3 now. The Edmonton Rush control the faceoff. They will try and look for the immediate answer. Jeremy Thompson gets away from a check briefly, and now he'll bounce it to Conway off the bench. Conway to Church, and now Church to Knight. Now they're going to work it from the right side. There's the shot, and scores! Oh, it sneaks through. Mark Matthews puts it in on Mike Poulin, and they grab back a 4-3 lead.
Just hammered it through, and Poulin makes the initial stop. Thought he got enough of it, but it does roll in, and right back at it. The Edmonton Rush continue to kind of show that the Calgary Roughnecks can't get away from them, can't draw even, trying to put that statement game together.
Ball chopped back to the Calgary end of the floor. Carson Leung picks up it there and plays it to Dan McRae. McRae then has Sean Evans off the bench. Evans tries a move. 45 seconds to go in the quarter here. 4-3, Edmonton leading. Evans passes off to Dane Doby. Doby now to Jeff Shatler. Shatler with some space to Evans. He tries a wicked-looking shot over the top of the net. Comes out the other side. Still time on the shot clock. There's a long shot in there from Dixon. Bold makes the save. It's in his equipment. And with 26.5 seconds to go in the quarter, The Edmonton Rush will look for one more opportunity. They send Bull to the bench here to go 6-on-5. It's Knight with the ball. He has Conway to his left. He's got Greer to his right. He goes Greer's way. Now 10 seconds on the quarter. Greer steps forward. Now to Knight. Knight shoots it off the bar and into the Calgary bench. 4-3. The Edmonton Rush will take that lead in the first quarter, but nearly made it 5-3. We'll be back with second quarter action. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
Support the National Lacrosse League and show the world you're a fan with team merchandise from the National Lacrosse League official online store, shop.nll.com. You'll find a great selection of National Lacrosse League team items, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, accessories, and more. You'll also find great customer service, 365-day hassle-free returns, and fast shipping. So show the world you support the National Lacrosse League with official gear from shop.nll.com.
The defense is just one thing that has to be seamless against this Edmonton group, and after that first quarter, it looked like you guys had it together, and you were pretty unstoppable. Does it feel like you guys are unstoppable out there tonight?
Yeah, for sure. Our confidence is really high after our road trip, and of course, coming home to a packed barn like it is right now definitely helps the defense out a lot, so we need these guys to get loud out here in the crowd.
Were you guys expecting the game to be as intense as it is already in the first quarter?
For sure. You know, anytime Calgary and Edmonton are playing, no matter what sport it is, rivalry is going to be high, and passion and emotion are going to be high. And we want to get a win against these guys before we go into playoffs, so definitely.
Okay, well, good luck in the second quarter. Thanks a lot for this.
Thanks.
This is Dan McRae from your Calgary Roughnecks.
Evans, flip pass. Here's a shot. Dixon into the net, scores! Curtis Dixon again! It's 11-10 Calgary!
Want more great NLL action? Subscribe to the Lacrosse Network on your computer, tablet, or mobile device for access to all the games, live on YouTube. Get highlight reels, interactive player interviews, and behind-the-scenes coverage on all your favorite teams. YouTube.com/TLN. Subscribe today.
Playoff game. The winner of that game will advance to face the Edmonton Rush in the West Division Final. Details related to that game will be announced in the coming days. For tickets, visit CalgaryRoughnecks.com. 4-3, the Edmonton Rush lead the Calgary Roughnecks. Shots on goal after the first quarter, 13-10 favoring the Rush, but that was a very even quarter of lacrosse, Ryan. A couple goals I think Mike Poulin maybe would like to have back.
Yeah, a couple trickled through and went past Poulin, and the one kind of beat him clean 5-hole. So I think there's a couple he'd want back, but at the same time, he's also made a couple nice saves on shots that really, I think about the Ryan Dilks chances, 2 chances,
yep.
Point blank, and including on the rebound, and he makes those saves. So Kurt Malowski often says about his goaltending, it's not the saves he makes, it's when he makes them that's important. And so Mike Poulin making some important saves and some momentum-saving saves, and he'll need to continue to do that here against the Edmonton Rush.
Yeah, absolutely, no question about that. The Calgary Roughnecks, it seems like they were playing a slightly different style of defense. What do you see there?
Well, it seems like they're playing a little more pressure defense than we've seen the last couple weeks, and this season. Really, they're not giving the guys the time that we have seen sometimes, where they kind of play that large star defense, and we're not seeing that necessarily from them tonight. A lot of pressure being put on the Edmonton Rush, not allowing them the chance to go forward and potentially score a goal.
Play underway here in the second quarter. Calgary gets possession. Pete McFedridge finds Carson Leung. Leung then tries to go back. That's interrupted nicely by the Edmonton Rush, who create that turnover. Now the Rush come down the floor the other way. Chris Corbeil has the ball here. He pulls up, now looking for help. Gets some off the bench. Zach Greer now with it. Greer passes off to Knight. Knight now goes to Conway. Conway on top to Matthews. Matthews, tricky pass to a lot of traffic. It bounces to Mike Poulin. He stops it, plays it ahead. Manning has to take it in his feet, but has no one around him, so does so easily. Then he plays it ahead to Jeff Snyder, who has problems with it. Finally picks it up. And now Calgary gets the full offensive set on the floor, including Scotty Ranger. 1 goal in the first quarter for Scotty Ranger. He tries to hit Curtis Dixon, gets the ball back. Ranger to the net, stuffs it in. What a goal by Scott Ranger. Second of the night, and it's 4-4.
Well, it's funny to say that the Calgary Roughnecks missed Scott Ranger's offense when you look at their offensive totals for the season, but Scott Ranger is a very, very talented offensive player. Showing so here as he breaks towards Aaron Bolt, puts home his 2nd of the game. Again, just his 6th of the year as he's missed most of the season due to work commitments. But a nice goal there and gets it in on the Edmonton Rush goalie Bolt, and we can see him tuck it in here over the shoulder and gets his goal and finds now the Roughnecks with a 4-4 tie.
Yeah, that is some nice stick work in tight there by Scott Ranger, and a 4-4 score is indeed where we're at. Edmonton with the ball, but having a problem on the offensive end. They get it back and looking in tight there as Riley Lewin was loose down low there. Couldn't come up with the pass though, and instead Calgary comes back the other way. Carson Leung has it. Leung greeted by the Edmonton defense, so he comes to Sean Evans. Evans now has a man down low. There's the shot, saved by Bold as he stops Jeff Shatler in tight. And now the play ahead to Lintz. Lintz immediately greeted by Curtis Dixon, who swung his stick at him, and then the ball nearly thrown away. High take there by Matthews, who's a big boy already, and he had to climb the ladder to take that pass in, did so. And Edmonton moving the ball now in the offensive end of the floor. Greer has it. Greer passes off. Now here's an opportunity for Knight, scores! Curtis Knight shakes off the defense and then beats Mike Poulin 5-4. Edmonton leads on Knight's 2nd of the game.
Knight just sneaks in behind the defense and gets it in, and Kurt Molosky's looking at this one very closely to see if he's challenging. The flag is out of his pocket, and we'll see if we get a third replay here as they were go back in time there.
No flag coming, so
no,
the goal will stand.
Yeah, Kurt Molosky thinks better of it, puts the flag away, but right on top of the crease, Knight gets it in.
Nice take there by Snyder, then has his stick chopped loose. The ball's in his stick still. So nice heads-up play there by Cornwall to shake it loose and retrieve it. Cornwall then thrown briefly to the ground, gets back up, hangs onto the ball, swings it across. Now here's Greer with it, 18 seconds on the shot clock. Greer pass off. Here's Lowen, he can't get the shot on goal. Edmonton retains possession though, 10 seconds on the shot clock still. As here is Lowen again. Lowen greeted by Dan McRae and is just going to roll it into the corner. Nice defensive set there for the Calgary Roughnecks. 12:05 to go here in the first half in what is a 5-4 Edmonton lead. Mike Poulin looking for options. He gives it to Jeff Shatler. High pass way up in the air. That gave Edmonton a chance to converge on it. Now we have a battle for it. Carson Leung has it briefly. He's thrown to the ground and is grabbing his face.
That's Sean Evans actually.
Oh, pardon me, Evans,
down.
yeah. Back up and is going to stay on the floor here. Now receives the pass. Evans now with a step, goes back to Jeff Shatler. Shatler to Doby. Doby tried to go back to Veltman, had to get the ball back himself. Now Veltman has it up top to Shatler. Shatler behind the net, picked off nicely there by the Edmonton Rush defense. And now away in transition, the always speedy Chris Corbeil. He pulls up and then finds a man off the bench. 5-4 Edmonton leading, 11:15 to go in the first half. Here's Mark Matthews. Matthews tries to muscle his way around a couple defenders and then flip the pass to no one. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Quick pass to Greer in front. He scores, foot on the crease, no goal.
Yeah, the referee right on top of that one. No hesitation, whistling that one down.
Now Doby tried to race from the bench with that patented move that he has. The pass from Ranger didn't quite connect. However, Calgary does retain possession here. Doby comes back to Veltman, who has to take it low. And now Veltman to Scott Ranger. Ranger, quick pass as he was looking for Jeff Shatler on top of the crease. Shatler was dumped. Now gets the ball. Behind the back pass through the crease area. Comes to Scott Ranger. 10 seconds still on the shot clock. Ranger tries to go around the defender. Now behind the net. Out the other side is Shatler. Pardon me, Dixon tries the shot. Bold the save. And a nice job there by Scotty Ranger to come up with a loose ball. Now he's in a battle ball in his feet, and we get a whistle, and possession will go to the Edmonton Rush.
Yeah, that was a weird possession. Ranger and Dixon, between the two of them, were the only two Roughnecks on the floor with 10 seconds left on the clock, but they managed to get a shot, get a rebound, but just no offensive support.
And as they were going to the bench, Ranger and Thompson getting into it a little bit, they decide not to go, although it looked like Ranger might have wanted to, which would be unusual for Scotty. Now here's Lowen. Lowen, spin shot, scores! Riley Lowen with a pretty effort. 6-4, Edmonton leads by 2.
Yeah, just finds himself right in the center, spins around his man and finds a home for the ball behind Mike Poulin and doubles up the lead. It's now 2 for the Edmonton Rush with a 6-4 score.
9:57 to go in the second quarter. Snyder and Thompson go at it again. And this time Thompson scoops it back to himself. Nice face-off win for him, and now starts forward. Has Metzke. Metzke has some room. Metzke all the way, shoots, and Poulin a save. Rebound was there, and Metzke chops it over the top of the net. And with 9:45 to go here in the second quarter, and the score 6-4, timeout on the floor. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
Come on, boys, let's go get him, man.
Back on track tonight. We're going out here. We're in our barn. No one touches us here tonight. Come in here tonight. We're in the high field. Let's go. Fire it up here. Greatness on 3. 1, 2, 3. Greatness!
Rock versus Buffalo, Friday, April 18th. For the best ticket in town, visit TorontoRock.com.
Fans for the Edmonton Rush tonight is their final road game of the regular season. They finish up their regular season slate with home games against Calgary next Saturday at 7 p.m. and then on Friday, April 25th against Vancouver at 7:30 p.m. Tickets for those games and playoff home games at Rexall Place now on sale. For more information, visit EdmontonRush.com. The Rush in town tonight here after losing their first of the season down in Denver a night ago. They're leading Calgary tonight 6-4, 9:45 to go here in the second quarter, and Jordan McIntosh, Ryan, just taking a penalty.
Yeah, I didn't see the call from the official. I'll try and get the official word on what that penalty call was, but Jordan McIntosh sitting for 2 or less, and Edmonton will head to the power play.
That power play 0 for 1 on the evening. Not cashing in the first quarter. Conway out there with Matthews, Knight. And on the other side is where he goes actually, as he gives it to Robert Church. Church gets it back. Church plays it to the top to Conway, now to Matthews as they creep in. Conway to Knight, back to Conway with some room. Conway looking to pass off again. Behind the back pass to no one. That forces Greer back to get it with now just 9 seconds on the shot clock. There's the shot, bounces wide, all the way back to Greer. He's gonna pass off, and then Matthews didn't see the pass coming as Church tried to hit it quickly to him, and now in transition the other way, here's Mike Carnegie to Dane Dobie behind the back shot, rebound there, and Bold stops that one as well.
Yeah, Dobie trying to go behind the back, but Bold well scouted on that one. Stops it. Curtis Dixon had a slap chance at the rebound, but Bold keeps it out.
1:10 to go here in the power play for the Edmonton Rush. Conway has it at the top. They go back and forth. Now he comes to Matthews. Matthews shoots and scores. Matthews just whips it on net and beats Mike Poulin. 7-4, Edmonton up by 3.
Yeah, Mark Matthews, as you mentioned earlier, a big dude with a fast shot, and he puts that one behind Mike Poulin.
Just surprised him with the shot. I don't think Poulin thought he was going to fire one there.
Yeah, that's how it seems, and now Edmonton with a 7-4 lead, and Aaron Bold getting a bit of assistance from the trainer.
Getting his shoe tied, maybe.
Well, looks like some tape going out on the shoe. Looks like it was 2 minutes for Garrett McIntosh, and I believe And I'm just verifying here that it was 2 minutes for illegal equipment.
Oh, okay. Face-off win by Jeff Snyder, although he's going to have to battle for it. Coming over to take a look was Carson Leung. He got one right in the chops, and Edmonton comes up with the ball. Lintz has it. Lintz has help. Lintz hangs on. And then Leung grabs Lintz. Penalty upcoming as Leung horse-collared Lintz there. And that's going to give Edmonton another power play here. 6-on-5 now as they send Bull to the bench. And we'll try and work it a man up here. Leading by 3 and looking for more. With the ball now is Greer. Greer now starts forward to Knight. There's the shot. That bounces wide of the net. It's going to come all the way back to Matthews. And we're going to get the call now to Carson Leung, who lost his cool here, Ryan. Was upset after he took one right in the chops earlier in the shift and then just came back and put his arms all over the Edmonton forward. We'll get the replay here.
Yeah, holding is the call, and can't really argue with that one as he almost tackles him to the floor. So Edmonton will try and increase their lead, and honestly, Grant, penalties not something that the Calgary Roughnecks can afford with Edmonton as good as they are.
The Edmonton Rush power play tonight, 1 for 2 so far. That goal coming here in the second quarter. Matthews has the ball now. Matthews passes off. There's the shot from Church. Nice save there by Poulin. Up with the rebound and looking down the floor to Dan McRae. Throws it away though, as McRae could not take the pass. Dane Dobie runs over to get it though. Nice hustle there by number 44 to keep possession for his team. And now Dan McRae gives it off to Curtis Dixon. Dixon with 10 on the shot clock now. Creeping in, spins off one man. Dixon to the net. And just as he was about to shoot, he was thrown to the ground by Church and Medsky for the Edmonton Rush. And Dixon's in a bit of trouble down there.
Yeah, Dixon very slow to get up in the crease.
Aaron Bold even helping him.
Gingerly making his way back to the bench, and that's not because he's a redhead.
1:20 to go on the Edmonton power play here. They bounce it ahead. Dan McRae immediately greeting Corey Conway. Again, that aggressive defense by the Calgary Roughnecks. Now Matthews has it. Now to Conway. Conway shoots. Poulin comes over to make that save. Mike Carnegie trying to find the loose ball there. It's chopped to the corner. Greer in there for the Edmonton Rush. Battling for it. And Calgary comes away with a good work there by Greg Harnett. Yeah. Edmonton gets the ball back right away, though, as Calgary didn't move it quickly enough. Now here's Corbeil. Pass off to Greer. Greer to Matthews. Matthews to Conway. 45 seconds to go on the power play. 20 seconds still on the shot clock in what is a 7-4 Edmonton lead with 6:45 to go here in the first half. Matthews with the ball again. Nice ball movement. Comes to Conway. Pops up in the air. They come across to Greer, and Poulin came across. Shot was actually wide of the net, as Greer looked like he had a yawning cage there. Now Greer tries to throw it on net as the shot clock comes to an end. He can't get it on net, and we get a whistle on the play as Matthews is down in a heap in the corner just to the right of Mike Poulin.
They collided with Greg Harnett, and I don't think that shot was going wide. I think Mike Poulin just made a heck of a save there, Grant. If you look there.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Mike Poulin gets a piece of it, and then it touches the back wall. Mark Matthews now making it back to the bench.
Well, and that's the last thing either team wants in this game, Ryan. We've seen Curtis Dixon go down in a heap and go to the bench gingerly. Now he's back on the floor, and Mark Matthews there. Priority number one for both clubs, get out of these last few games healthy. Your playoff seeding is secure. You want to stay healthy entering the postseason. Now Curtis Dixon with 20 seconds to go on the Carson Leung minor will look to kill the remaining time on that penalty. Double teamed, but keeping his distance from the Edmonton Rush defenders. Dixon just hanging on. And now as Carson Leung prepares to come out of the penalty box, Dixon now taking some punishment. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Dixon tries to muscle his way through a couple defenders. Tossed to the ground, and the Edmonton Rush take the ball just as the shot clock was about to expire. John LaFontaine has it. LaFontaine guarded by Carson Leung, who delivers a couple of chops. And now Edmonton gets their full offensive complement of players out on there. There's Davis to Knight. Knight greeted by the Calgary defense, who converge on him, and now a play ahead. Here's Carson Leung in transition. Leon couldn't quite find a step, but gives it to Snyder. He shoots, and Bold makes a save. One of the few times in this quarter that Bold's been tested. He's equal to that task, and now the other end of the floor. Here come the Rush in transition. There's a shot, and Poulin makes a nice save as he stops Lowen. Lowen then takes a big hit in the corner, and it will be Calgary ball. Here's Dan McRae, steps over center. McRae passes off. Shatler tries the shot, hit a body before it got to the net. Now goes to the corner. Metzke's in there for the Edmonton Rush. So is Shatler and Dan McRae for the Calgary Roughnecks. Big fight for it there. John Lintz also taking a look. Calgary's going to get a crack and holding on to it here, though. Just 10 seconds on the shot clock. Dane Dobie has it. Dobie trying to step away from some defenders, and then is just going to deposit the ball down in the corner as the shot clock was about to expire. 4:46 to go, 7-4, the Edmonton Rush lead. Timeout on the floor. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
Support the National Lacrosse League and show the world you're a fan with team merchandise from the National Lacrosse League official online store, shop.nll.com. You'll find a great selection of National Lacrosse League team items, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, accessories, and more. You'll also find great customer service, 365-day hassle-free returns, and fast shipping. So show the world you support the National Lacrosse League with official gear from shop.nll.com.
Here's a shot, Dixon to the net, scores! Curtis Dixon again! It's 11-10 Calgary!
Want more great NLL action? Subscribe to the Lacrosse Network on your computer, tablet, or mobile device for access to all the games, live on YouTube. Get highlight reels, interactive player interviews, and behind-the-scenes coverage on all your favorite teams. YouTube.com/TLN. Subscribe today.
Fans, the National Lacrosse League is now on the Universal Sports Network and universalsports.com. The NLL Game of the Week features the Buffalo Bandits taking on the Vancouver Stealth tonight at 10 Eastern on universalsports.com. Fans in the U.S. can watch the game with a subscription to Universal Sports Network. The game is available to all fans in Canada. 7-4, the Edmonton Rush leading the Calgary Roughnecks. 4:46 to go in the second quarter. This second quarter, Ryan, really the Edmonton Rush carrying the play in this one. 3-1 outscoring the Riggers so far, and the Roughnecks really haven't generated much offense on Aaron Bold.
No, it's been a lot of time for the Edmonton Rush getting going now. 2 penalties, also taking some time out of that 10 minutes that's elapsed so far, but the Edmonton Rush doing a good job of holding the Calgary Roughnecks away from the net, not allowing them the shot. The Roughnecks have gotten away from the ball movement that was working in quarter number 1, looking for more individual efforts, and that's just not going to work against this Edmonton Rush defense.
No, absolutely not. The Edmonton Rush on the attack right now on the Calgary end of the floor. 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Matthews to the middle. Nice pass. Finds Knight. Knight then dishes off. There's the shot. That's wide of the net. Pops up in the air. Calgary gets a chance at it. And Edmonton will just roll the ball into the corner as Davis realized there was no time to put a shot on net there. And with 4:15 to go, Calgary will get a chance here to bite into that 3-goal Rush lead. Jeff Shatler has it. Shatler to Dobie, who then finds Dixon off the bench. Dixon to Scott Ranger, who's got a couple in this game. Ranger to Dobie to Shatler. Shatler then to Ranger. Ranger, nice move. Ranger to the net. Behind the net now. Kyle Rubisch pins him up against the glass there. Ranger's got nowhere to go, arms in the air. And as the shot clock expires, Ranger will hit the bench. That's some good defense by the tough Kyle Rubisch.
Yeah, Ranger campaigning for a holding call, put his arms up in the air as if to say, well, he's holding me. So Rubisch puts his arms out and just leans on Ranger up against the boards. Solid defense there from the veteran defender.
Now here's Lowen. Lowen, nice pass to Davis. Then Davis throws it away, as I believe he was looking for a cutting Knight. That doesn't work. Knight does get the ball. Now to Davis. He shoots and scores. Davis escapes traffic and gives his team an 8-4 lead.
Again, stretching the defense out. Roughnecks leaving nobody in the middle. Jarrett Davis able to put it home. And as a result now, it's an 8-4 lead in favor of the Edmonton Rush. The Roughnecks are going to have to look back at this quarter when they head into the half and question just what happened after a solid first quarter.
Yeah, Davis cut between the two rookies there, Tor Reinhold and Carson Leung to find the open space, and then the strong finish, 8-4, the Edmonton Rush with the lead. There's a chance for Dane Doby, saved by Aaron Bold. Rebound comes to Calgary, and we get a whistle on the play as Bold has an equipment problem. His mask is off, and he's taking a look. He might have made that save with the bean.
Yeah, the referee stopping the action, so Aaron Bold can get his mask back on.
Jeff Snyder over talking to the officials with about something, not sure what, but he's not happy. 3:03 to go here in the second quarter. Shots on goal, 22-16, favoring the Edmonton Rush, and those 16 shots not nearly enough when you're facing a goalie the caliber of Aaron Bold. Now Evans to Dixon. Dixon plays it up high to Darryl Veltman, who then comes to Jeff Shatler to Doby. Doby back to the net. Now steps out to Veltman. Veltman was looking for Dixon. He was well defended. Evans has to take it off the wall. Now Evans cuts to the net, tries to put it in, and does. Sean Evans. And then he takes some punishment. Everyone's coming over to make sure that Evans is okay. He's still down in the Edmonton crease as he got absolutely obliterated just as he scored that goal.
Yeah, I believe it was Cornwall that took the hit on Evans, and Evans is down hard. And the trainer now coming out to take a look at him. After he cut to the net and scored that goal, he took a cross check to the back.
Now sitting up, which is a good sign.
Yeah, if you're a Calgary Roughnecks fan, that is not the guy you want to see go down.
And you can see Kurt Molosky motioning to the bench that it was a check from behind. 20th goal of the season for Sean Evans. It will be a penalty too.
Yeah, it is indeed a penalty after the goal happens. As Evans, you could read his lips there, what he felt about the hit there briefly. But Aaron Bold getting some more tape.
He's got to get some better tape.
This is the other shoe.
Get that man some better quality tape.
It's the other shoe. So it was not Cornwall, it was Lintz that took the shot at Evans. So the Roughnecks, after getting it to a 3-goal game now, are going to have a chance to cut into that deficit even further here with a power play opportunity.
Yeah, just a 2-minute power play here, or a 2-minute penalty rather. Nice face-off win there by Thompson though. Thompson all alone down there. Actually had Corbeil cutting to the net, couldn't find him with the pass though. And now Jeff Snyder comes back the other way for the Calgary Roughnecks. Again, Sean Evans, 20th goal of the season, now makes it an 8-5 game here in Calgary with a chance to get some momentum going here in the latter part of the first half. There's a bounce shot by Doby. Nice save there by Bold. Ball behind the net. Battle ensues for it, and it's the Edmonton Rush coming away with it. Again, good work there by Kyle Rubish to just outmuscle everyone for that loose ball. Short-handed, the Edmonton Rush looking for an opportunity as they swing it back to Jared Davis, who has had a strong first half of lacrosse here. Now off the bench is Greer. Greer hands off to Matthews. Matthews then just whips it down to the corner. And the ball gets to Poland. He has to make a save. And that's chopped back, and Edmonton's going to not keep possession here as it will be over and back. And Calgary's going to take over here with 53 seconds. That could have gone very badly for the Roughnecks there, Ryan.
Timeout Calgary. Dane Doby calling a timeout there. But yeah, over and back was the call. The Calgary Roughnecks got possession of the ball, and then Dane Doby calling a timeout.
And again, Jeff Snyder talking to the official. This is the second time in as many minutes that we've seen an animated discussion between Jeff Snyder and the officials. 1:31 to go here in the first half. 8-5, the Edmonton Rush lead this one. Calgary on the power play though for another 51 seconds. Minute 31 remaining in the second half, or pardon me, the first half in the second quarter. Calgary's power play in this game so far 0 for 1, and they would dearly love to cash in here. As they're just sorting things out there. Sean Evans will take the ball from the official. Evans out there with Dixon, Scotty Ranger, Dane Doby, and Daryl Veltman. Evans now gets the ball and starts forward with 90 seconds to go in the first half. Evans to Veltman. Veltman then plays it up high to Evans. Now they'll come across to Dixon. They change things up. Dixon, pass in front. That doesn't work. And again, good defense there by the Edmonton Rush. And now here comes Chris Corbeil in transition. Corbeil passes off. Shot, scores! Short-handed goal by Curtis Knight. And Edmonton leads 9-5.
Yeah, give Knight the hat trick on the goal. A nice jump goal through the crease, up and over the shoulder of Mike Poulin. Stayed clean, and as a result, regains that 4-goal lead for the Edmonton Rush. Not what you were looking for after coming out of a timeout if you're the Calgary Roughnecks.
And that goal created by the speed of Chris Corbeil as he just ran away from everybody, created the 2-on-1, dished off to Knight, and then Knight showing some tricky hands in tight there. And when it's all said and done, it's a shorthanded goal and a 9-5 Edmonton Rush lead. The Rush get the face-off win as well as Medsky swings it across. Nice take there to save the ball. That is Curtis Knight. Pardon me, that's Conway on the other side. Conway now thinks about a shot or fakes a shot anyways. He's over there with Knight, who receives a pass from him. Then a pass across to Greer, and Calgary takes over. Now back to 5-on-5 play with just 35 seconds to go here in the first half. Evans with the ball. Evans passes off, and as Shatler tries to unload, he was graded, and then Veltman and Dixon get tangled up. Veltman comes up with it, plays it to Doby. Doby shoots, and Bold gets enough of that one. Shatler with a chance to come up with it. Calgary sends Poulin to the bench here to go 6-on-5 in the last 15 seconds here as the Roughnecks will look for one more opportunity. Evans has the ball. Evans to Dixon. Dixon tries the shot. Bold to save. Rebound to Ranger. Another save by Bold. Evans tries to stuff it in. Misses the net. And the half expires with the Edmonton Rush leading this one 9-5. Calgary with a flurry of chances right at the end there, Ryan.
Yeah, trying everything they can to reduce this lead before going into the locker room, but they'll have to see a 4-goal deficit here, and it looks like Kayla Spees is going to get a quick chat with Coach Kurt Molosky, so we'll look for Kayla here to talk to the head coach about what he feels after a 9-5 lead for the Edmonton Rush. We'll now throw it down to Kayla Spees.
With head coach Kurt Molosky. Kayla?
Thanks a lot, Mookie. Coach, in the first quarter, things were very even between the two teams, but Edmonton found a way to push away from the pack in the second quarter. What gave them that opportunity?
Well, they just elevated their play, and our guys are standing around watching. You can see we got the ball, and we're nonchalant. They're coming from behind making checks. So, you know what? They're out working us, out competing us right now, and they want it more. Simple as that. You know what? They got a good team, and if we're going to stand around and let them dictate the pace, this is going to be over real quick.
The intensity was set, I guess, when the ball dropped at the very first minute. From the face-off circle to the crease, it has increased throughout the game. Are you happy with how your team is handling the intensity?
No, I'm not at all. They're dictating the pace of the game. And you can't against a good team like this if you sit back and they're going to take it over. So we have to step up and start competing because the one-on-one battles, they're winning right now. And if we can continue to let them win the one-on-one battles and we stand around and watch them, it'll be over. So I expect our guys to have a better second half.
Okay, good luck in the second half. Thanks a lot for this. Head coach Kurt Molosky.
All right, thanks, Kayla. Kurt Molosky not happy at all with the effort of his team in the first half. 9-5, the Edmonton Rush lead after that first half of lacrosse. Offensive leaders, Edmonton Rush led by Curtis Knight. Nice half of lacrosse for number 9 as he goes 3-on-3, the hat trick and 6 points as he leads the attack for the Edmonton Rush. 2 goals and 1 assist for Mark Matthews, 1-1 for Zach Greer, and Robert Church 1-3. Single goal from Riley Lowen. For the Calgary Roughnecks, 2 goals for Scott Ranger, single goals from Dane Doby, who's 1-1, Sean Evans 1-2, and Dan McRae also scores his 7th of the season to help the cause for the Calgary Roughnecks, but they're down by 4 heading to the third quarter. And stay tuned as we will count down the top 10 plays of the week in the NLL and also take a look at the stats and standings heading into this weekend's action. We'll be back with the second half shortly. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
Welcome to NLL Halftime. Hi everybody, I'm your host, Dave Walls. We'll get you back to your game in just a few moments. Right now, let's get you caught up on scores and standings as we head into this week's action, Week 16 of the 2014 NLL season. Week 16 promises to be a week where the contenders are separated from the pretenders, and Week 15 set all that up. Calgary came from behind to beat the Philadelphia Wings on Friday at the Wells Fargo Center 13-9, and the Rochester Nighthawks needed overtime to take care of the Minnesota Swarm 15-14. Rochester would take the matchup the following night at the Blue Cross Arena over Minnesota 12-9, while the Edmonton Rush kept their undefeated season alive, moving to 14-0 with a 12-11 win over the Mammoth. Finally, the Toronto Rock won 17-9 over Vancouver. However, Garrett Billings tore his ACL in the game and will miss the rest of the 2014 regular season. Our game of the week came as Calgary traveled to Buffalo on Saturday and stormed ahead in the fourth quarter thanks to a 7-1 run, defeating the Bandits 16-13. In that game, John Tavares scored career goal number 800, further adding to his legacy. So where does that leave us as we head into Week 16? In the NLL Eastern Division, Rochester sits alone with an 11-4 record, having swept both games against Minnesota last week. They host the Vancouver Stealth on Saturday night. Meanwhile, Buffalo's been slipping as of late, but still holding on to second place with a record of 8-6, 2.5 games back of the Nighthawks. The real matchup in the Eastern Division to watch for this week is Toronto and Philadelphia. Toronto has a one-game lead over Philadelphia with a record of 6-9, and the Wings at 5-10. If Toronto wins, both Philadelphia and Minnesota will be eliminated, as Toronto will hold the tiebreaker over the Wings. However, if the Wings win this one, all three teams are still alive for that third playoff spot in the Eastern Division. Minnesota needs to win, and they need help with a record of 3-12, sitting in last place. Meanwhile, out west, the Edmonton Rush currently sit alone atop the division with that perfect 14-0 record. However, they've got arguably their toughest weekend to date, traveling to Colorado for Friday night and then on Saturday night out at the Saddle Dome to face the Roughnecks. Those Roughnecks sit in second place, however, with their weekend sweep in Week 15 with a record of 10-5, battling the Edmonton Rush on Saturday. Down in third place, Colorado and Vancouver will remain a game apart from each other and both face tough challenges in Week 16. Colorado facing the Edmonton Rush and Vancouver traveling to the Nighthawks on Saturday. That does it for NLL Halftime. Thanks for watching. We'll get you back to your game in just a moment. This is the National Lacrosse League.
To Keogh, he shoots and scores! Stephen Keogh, right where he left off yesterday, it's 1-0.
Grant Trundle in, ball trick right in front to Jones, he stopped right on the doorstep, and it stays out as Corbeil and Rubish, and now they turn it over, scores! Kyle Rubish had his pass intercepted, and Bold wasn't aware, and Jones fires it home, something you don't see very often from Rubish.
In the third.
Here's Tet straight to the goal. Diving shot, scores! 3 steps, goes airborne. And gives it to Chapman right after the goal. They're checking, it's Campbell. But a highlight reel goal from Reese Dutch.
Yeah, he's made some real nice saves. Real nice goal there by Johnny Palace. He just drove down the middle. Got a nice pass there by Stephen Keogh.
As Poulin makes the save on Thornberry, who comes right back around and he scores! Thornberry gets airborne to beat Poulin for the Roughnecks. Back come the Bandits. Finesse at the top. There's Taveras, and there is number 800 in his brilliant career. The living legend does it again. Buffalo up by 3.
Ford will head to the bench, extra attacker on a minute to go. Westerveld down low in the crease, line and she scores! He rung it right around the goal post, and it's a 1-goal game with 58 seconds to go.
Roughnecks have had problems all night on their bench play, getting clean line changes. Behind the back bounce shot for Dane Noby, he scores! Nobody saw it coming, and Noby catches the wing, snoozing.
Making a double. Here's Doyle around a screen, lowers in the shoulder, inside, still spinning is Doyle, and he scores. What a goal from Colin Doyle. Stoke down by 8. Here's Bucktooth down low. Smooth backhand shot, scores. Hello from Chris Smith as he goes over the shoulder, and it's 12-5.
support the National Lacrosse League and show the world you're a fan with team merchandise from the National Lacrosse League official online store, shop.nll.com. You'll find a great selection of National Lacrosse League team items, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, accessories, and more. You'll also find great customer service, 365-day hassle-free returns, and fast shipping. So show the world you support the National Lacrosse League with official gear from shop.nll.com.
Evans, flip pass. Here's a shot. Dixon into the net, scores! Curtis Dixon again! It's 11-10 Calgary!
Want more great NLL action? Subscribe to the Lacrosse Network on your computer, tablet, or mobile device for access to all the games, live on YouTube. Get highlight reels, interactive player interviews, and behind-the-scenes coverage on all your favorite teams. YouTube.com/TLN. Subscribe today.
Come on, boys, let's go get him, eh?
Back on track tonight. We're going out here. We're in our barn. No one touches us here tonight. Come in here tonight. We're in the high field. Let's go. Fire it up here. Greatness on three. 1, 2, 3. Greatness!
Rock versus Buffalo, Friday, April 18th. For the best ticket in town, visit TorontoRock.com.
Radio offers the best online radio coverage of the National Lacrosse League. Listen on your smartphone. Just download the popular TuneIn Radio app and find NLL Radio. Hear the latest episode of every show anytime on your phone. For more information, visit NLL.com/radio. That's NLL.com/radio.
And a special note for all of you Edmonton Rush fans that might be watching this game. Franchise owner Bruce Urban will be stopping by this week's episode of Roughnecks Radio. So if you want to hear Bruce's perspective on the team so far in podcast form, make sure you download this week's episode of Roughnecks Radio. We'll be taping it right after tonight's game, and pretty much download it every time a new episode is up. But,
sure.
But this week in particular for Rush fans, Bruce Urban will be making an appearance on the show.
His team out in front of the Calgary Roughnecks as we head to the third quarter, 9-5. So the Roughnecks have some work to do here in the second half. Ryan, what's happening elsewhere around the NLL?
Every other game is a final tonight. This one, the last action in the National Lacrosse League for the night. Earlier tonight, it was a 10-9 score. In fact, 10 the winning score for every team here tonight. 10-9 Toronto over Philly, Rochester over Vancouver by a 10-7 score, and that will really hurt the Stealth's playoff chances. Minnesota falls 10-9, or rather Minnesota swarms Buffalo, winning that game by a 10-9 score. So all three winners getting 10 tonight. That would be Toronto, Rochester, and Minnesota.
And here in Calgary, it's 9-5. The Edmonton Rush leading the Calgary Roughnecks, so chances of the winning team having just 10 tonight are probably slim.
I'm willing. Well, you never know. I won't put it past the Calgary Roughnecks. They've been hot late in the back half of games. Last weekend, it was fourth quarter comebacks on both nights that saw the Roughnecks outscore their opponents by a total score of 13-2 on the weekend. So the Roughnecks having a better second half lately than they have a first half. So we'll see if they're able to continue that trend here tonight. Down 4 to the league-leading Edmonton Rush.
Face-off percentage in that first half, Jeff Snyder with a slim edge as he won 54% of his draws. So pretty tight battle tonight between him and Mr. Thompson on the dot. And we'll get this one going with another fight for the ball here. As Snyder leans in there, ball squirts loose. He tries to roll it back to Carson Leung, who didn't see it. And now a fight for it on the wall. Certainly Kurt Milosky hoping his team has a lot more intensity here in the second half, as I imagine he had some things to say in the locker room to his charges there at halftime. Curtis Knight has the ball for the Edmonton Rush. 3 goals and 6 points for Curtis Knight in that first half, so he is having a big evening here in Calgary tonight. He passes off, in this case, though, to Davis. Now Davis tries to run away from the defender. Nice defense there by Dan McRae to get his stick on that pass. Zach Greer comes over to take the ball. Greer passes off. There's a shot down low, and Poulin makes a strong save to start the second half. Throws it ahead to Jeff Snyder.
Pretty sure even if Matthews had scored on that one, the referee had blown it dead as the shot clock had expired.
Jeff Shatler with the ball. Passes to Evans. Evans now to Scott Ranger, who plays it up high to Curtis Dixon. Now here's a chance for Shatler, shoots and scores. Well, that's the start Calgary needed as they get the first goal of the second half, and it's 9-6.
Well, you know that Kurt Milosky, after that halftime interview, was going to go back into the room and have some words for his team, and it certainly seems like Jeff Shatler got the message as he comes across and puts it behind Aaron Bold to cut it to a 3-goal deficit. The Roughnecks so far on the season, just 3-4 when trailing at the half. So they'll have some busy work ahead of the Edmonton Rush, who of course just 14-1 on the season. So a lot of zeros after trailing and leading stats there for both these teams.
Shots on goal fairly even now, 23-22 with the slim edge to Edmonton, but they have the 3-goal cushion here on the scoreboard. Jeff Snyder and Jeremy Thompson just locking up.
Both of them looking for the referee to make a decision. The referee said, no, just get it done.
And finally, Snyder releases, and Tor Reinhold jumps on the ball briefly. However, it's Edmonton that comes out of that pile with it as Kyle Rubish has it. He flips it. Dangerous pass that does fine. Well, that's still being contested. Rubish comes over again and eventually bounces a pass to Lowen, and Edmonton does control here after about a 60-second battle when it was all said and done. Matthews rolls off his check to Greer, and as Greer tried to get the shot on goal, Carson Leung came over to interrupt him, and now Leung and Greer exchange words and shots.
Yeah, Carson Leung, a very polite young man when you meet him, but he gets on the lacrosse floor, gets a little more fire in the belly.
Now Calgary looking to make this a 2-goal game. Dane Doby to Scott Ranger, now to Evans. Evans now behind the net, comes back the same side he went in. Being harassed on the play, Evans passes off. Schattler didn't get all of that one, saved by Bull, then Schattler tries to come up with the ball. Still up for grabs here, and eventually the Edmonton Rush take it, but Schattler had a good look there, but just didn't get all the ball.
Yeah, he had a good shot, but Aaron Bold able to get over in position and make the stop, keeping it a 3-goal Rush lead.
Now Davis tries to run through a couple of checks, drops the ball briefly, comes up with it though, now cuts towards the net, spins off a check, and eventually does pass off. Now Conway up top, leans by Harnett. Conway shoots as he had his body going one way and the ball the other one. Poulin makes the save. Conway does get the ball back though, and with it a fresh 30. Flips the pass over to the big weapon tonight for the Edmonton Rush, that's Knight. Now Knight winds, fires, and just misses the high corner. And now a race for it down the end of the floor. Dan McRae in there with Conway. McRae tried to skip by him and fell as he did so. It will be Calgary ball though. McRae picks it up in the corner. Whistle blows in the play. Schattler has it. Schattler to Ranger. Back to Schattler. 11:42 to go here in the third quarter, and what is a 9-6 Edmonton Rush lead. Darryl Veltman now to Sean Evans. Pardon me, that's Dixon. Dixon's to Ranger. Ranger to Schattler, in tight, shoots and scores! Jeff Schattler with his second straight, and it's 9-7. Excellent ball movement by the Roughnecks.
And that's what they have to do if they want to be successful against this Edmonton Rush defense. It's got to be precision passing to get around these players. The Roughnecks have the offensive talent to move the ball like that, proving it there as Jeff Schattler gets goal number 30 on the season, and the Roughnecks all of a sudden are back within 2.
Yeah, it's the good passing, Ryan, but it's also moving away from the ball, cutting to the net and creating that space for yourself as Jeff Schattler did there. And 9-7, Calgary has 2 straight goals here to open up the second half. Edmonton looking to take back some momentum here as they are now on the counter attack. It's Mark Matthews with it. Matthews, nice pass to Greer. He shoots, Poulin the save. Rebound to Greer, he shoots again, and Poulin makes another save. Ball way up in the air. Greer has a chance at it and collects the ball. Now Greer passes off, and the ball gets away from Davis into the hands of Poulin. He's up with it quickly, now finds Greg Harnett. Harnett has Evans ahead of him. Harnett all the way to the net. Behind the net now. Greeted there roughly by Ryan Dilch, but Harnett manages to hang on to it before finally passing off to Dixon. Dixon, nice pass to Schattler, in, scores! Hat-trick goal for Jeff Schattler. It's 9-8, and you can make that the natural hat-trick.
The natural hat-trick for Jeff Schattler as he puts in 3 goals in just a couple of minutes here for the Calgary Roughnecks, and that one brought the crowd to their feet. As we see, it's now a 9-8 score, proving that these guys aren't going anywhere. And again, like you mentioned, Grant, off-ball movement, keeping the ball fresh. A nice pass found Schattler down low, and he makes no mistake putting it behind Aaron Bold.
Now Snyder with a big chance, and Bold comes up with a big save there to keep the score 9-8. Snyder cutting to the net strongly, and Bold with one of his best saves of the evening so far. The Edmonton Rush now looking for some momentum shift here as they've given up 3 straight to start the second half. Ball to Matthews, and he puts it high over the net and then piles into the crease too. Now the Roughnecks counter strike. It's Carson Leung in transition. Leung has numbers to Doby. Doby thought about cutting to the net, then curls back and now calming things down, directing traffic, asking for the offensive set to get on the floor. Doby wearing the C tonight. Doby tries to spin off a check. Can't, so he plays it up high. Here's Dixon. Dixon cuts. Triple teamed, and the ball squirts loose to Lintz. who's up with it and plays it ahead to Church. Nice defense there by the Edmonton Rush to converge on Curtis Dixon. Now Church looking for a step, can't find it. So he'll come back instead as he passes off to Lowen. They go back and forth. Now Davis has it. Davis finds the big man Matthews to Church. Bounce shot in there. Poulin with a tricky save. Ball way up in the air. Battle in the right corner. Calgary has it. Nice work there by the rookie Tor Reinhold to come away with it. And now he's running the floor. Reinhold spins away and then tries to go back to Shadler, who can't collect the ball. Now Edmonton's going to have a chance here. Chris Corbeil now slowing things down. Passes off to Corey Conway, passes off in tight, scores! Riley Lowen somehow found an open seam, and the Edmonton Rush are back out on top by 2, 10-8.
Yeah, just got in behind his man, found all kinds of space, and puts it home. That's what the Calgary Roughnecks did on their last 3 goals. And the Edmonton Rush doing it well there to get in behind the defense and try and regain some of this lead. It was 4 goals at one point, now 10-8 in favor of the Edmonton Rush.
There was no one within 5 or 6 feet of Lowen there. He was absolutely all by himself as he somehow escaped the notice of the entire Calgary defensive core there. Calgary wins the face-off here with 8:30 to go here in the third quarter, 10-8. The Edmonton Rush with the 2-goal lead. Curtis Dixon has it to Evans. Evans, nice move to get around the defender to the net, and he puts it just wide as he was falling. Sean Evans with a nice opportunity there, but can't cash in. Now Metzke in transition for the Edmonton Rush. Has help off the bench, including Knight, who receives a pass. Knight gets around Dan McRae briefly. McRae recovers, though, to cut him off. So instead he goes back to Davis. Now Davis looks for a step to Knight. Knight passes on the shot, then he puts it on net. Penalty upcoming to the to the Calgary Roughnecks. Bold to the bench. So 6 on 5, and Dan McRae picks off the pass there. And as he does so, we will get the penalty call, and the Edmonton Rush will indeed go back to the power play with 7:51 to go here in the third quarter. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
Support the National Lacrosse League and show the world you're a fan with team merchandise from the National Lacrosse League official online store, shop.nll.com. You'll find a great selection of National Lacrosse League team items, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, accessories, and more. You'll also find great customer service, 365-day hassle-free returns, and fast shipping. So show the world you support the National Lacrosse League with official gear from shop.nll.com.
Here's a shot, Dixon to the net, scores! Curtis Dixon again! It's 11-10 Calgary!
Want more great NLL action? Subscribe to the Lacrosse Network on your computer, tablet, or mobile device for access to all the games, live on YouTube. Get highlight reels, interactive player interviews, and behind-the-scenes coverage on all your favorite teams. YouTube.com/TLN. Subscribe today.
Fans, this copyright telecast of the National Lacrosse League Incorporated may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the National Lacrosse League. 10-8, the Calgary Roughnecks trail the Edmonton Rush, 7:51 to go in the third quarter. It's Dan McRae taking the minor penalty there, sending the Edmonton Rush back to the power play. That power play 1 for 3 on the evening. Neither power play particularly effective in this one, as combined the two teams have gone 1 for 6 so far in this game, Ryan.
Yeah, and Dan McRae getting 2 minutes for holding the stick, got into a tussle down low, and the Rush player lost his stick, and as a result, Dan McRae will sit for 2 or less.
Play whistled in. It's Conway with the ball. He's got Church to his left, delivers the ball to him. Knight down low on that left side. They go back and forth, and now they'll work it from the right side where Matthews and Greer set up. Conway playing the top still. Now they're going to switch things up. Conway holds on, passes off. Here's Greer shooting, and a nice save there by Poulin as he takes it off the chest. John Harnett's going to have to race ahead to get this ball as it was put ahead to him by Mike Poulin into the corner. And the Edmonton Rush try and corner off Harnett there, and Lintz comes over to take the ball. So an opportunity lost there for the Roughnecks to kill a little more time, as Edmonton will come right down the floor again and work the power play that still has 1:20 to go here. Church flips to Conway. Conway once again on the top. Has a big shot, but more of a passer. There's a bounce shot. I believe it hit Snyder, who was near the crease area. So Edmonton gets the ball back here. Now Church with it to Conway. Conway to Matthews. Conway now loads, fires, and puts it wide. Has to take his own rebound. Can't control it, but eventually chops it back to Greer. Greer steps into the zone, takes a shot. Poulin with a nice leg save there and controls the rebound as well.
Yeah, nice athletic stop there from Mike Poulin as he kept it a 2-goal game. Again, Kurt Malosky, not the saves he makes, but when he makes them, and the Roughnecks absolutely have to have them now trailing 2 with 6:25 to go in quarter number 3.
Power play for Edmonton down to 30 seconds and 9 seconds on the shot clock for Calgary. Scott Ranger working it shorthanded. Now starts to creep towards the bench, then is just going to roll the ball down to the corner and allow his defense plenty of time to get set on the floor here. 21 seconds to go here, so almost a full possession. 5 on 4 for the Edmonton Rush. Matthews and Conway go back and forth. Matthews has the ball now to Church. Church fires off of Poulin, off the bar, and stays out. Now here's an opportunity for Harnett in transition. Harnett tracks down the ball. He shoots, and Bold with a nice stick save. And a challenge flag on the floor as Derek Keenan wants a look at that shot that went off of Mike Poulin and bounced off the post and perhaps under the post. We'll get a look here as Keenan wants to take a peek.
Yeah, and Sean Evans is making the case that maybe he didn't get the flag out within 20 seconds.
It's pretty quick.
Yeah, it did seem to come pretty quick on the reverse, but Sean Evans, of course, will want to be a little careful here because he's not assigned a letter, and the official can give a penalty if a player without a letter is talking to the official in a manner they deem inappropriate.
We haven't seen our first replay here as of yet. The official just getting over to the booth now to take their look. We will get our look as well here. And shortly after that, an opportunity for the Roughnecks in transition as well. But the initial save was made by Poulin. Here we'll get the look. It's the shot by Church.
It was a bounce shot. That's going to be...
It's a bit of a blurry image there.
Yeah, you can see the ball bouncing back out. This will be our best angle.
I think that's just off the post.
Yeah, that's very
clear. Or the crossbar, rather.
And the referee needs no more looks than that. Off the crossbar, off Poulin, off the crossbar, no goal.
Yeah, I love the fact the officials, once they see a look that's pretty convincing, well, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
No need to mess around. Let's get back to lacrosse.
Right.
And absolutely the right call there. I can appreciate why Keenan wanted to look because it did look like it may have bounced up and under the post, but in that case, absolutely no question. They had the call right on the floor and confirmed by replay. Edmonton retains possession here, though, back to 5-on-5 play. So the Rush now just 1 for 4 on the power play. Opportunity to really put the boot on the throat of the Roughnecks on the power play, but they'll still work with the 2-goal lead here. 5:30 to go here in the third quarter. Here's a pass to Knight. He tries the quick stick, can't release, though, in time, and the ball pops loose. Dan McRae takes it at center now for the Calgary Roughnecks, who look to get back to within a single goal here in the third quarter. Dane Doby with the ball. Doby has a man off the bench and hits him. That's Sean Evans. And then Evans plays it to Curtis Dixon. Dixon with a bit of space. Dixon takes a stick up high to Schattler. Schattler tries to move on the defender. Can't find any room. Now a pass to Doby, and then it was deflected towards the net. Just popped over the net. And now we get a whistle on the play. Dane Doby not happy. Delivers a bit of a shot to Kyle Rubish there. And it is Edmonton possession. Dilks has it. And he steps into the Calgary end of the floor. Now Church to Conway. Conway defended by Harnett. So he passes to Davis. Now Davis with some space. Davis plays it up high. Here's an opportunity back to Davis. He shoots, and Poulin with a big save as he kicks it out the foot. There's another shot, another save, Poulin. Rebound again to Edmonton. There's a shot, another save, Poulin. as he makes 3 big stops to keep the score 10-8.
Curtis Manning just took one in the chops, and the official calling the penalty there. The Roughnecks will be going to the power play here shortly. The only question is whether or not it's going to be 2 or 5, as Manning took a big slice to the face.
6 on 5 here as Poulin's on the bench. Calgary working with a man up. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Doby. Doby tries the shot high and wide of the right corner. And as Lintz touches it, we will get the call here. And Calgary will go to the power play. When we return, 10-8, Edmonton leads. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
Come on, boys, let's go get him, man.
Back on track tonight. We're going out here. We're in our barn. No one touches us here tonight. Come in here tonight. We're in the high field. Let's go. Fire it up here. Greatness on 3. 1, 2, 3. Greatness!
Rock versus Buffalo, Friday, April 18th. For the best ticket in town, visit TorontoRock.com.
Fans, a reminder, you can get some new team gear for the season by visiting the NLL shop online. Go to shop.nll.com for the best prices and selection on clothing and accessories for all 9 teams. With flat rate shipping and no hassle returns, the NLL shop is your place for all things NLL. Visit shop.nll.com today, powered by Fanatics. 10-8, the Calgary Roughnecks trail the Edmonton Rush, but Zach Greer gets 2 minutes for slashing Ryan, sending Calgary to the power play that is 0 for 3, but that one could have been called slashing or could have been called potentially a cross check. Either way, Calgary goes to the power play.
Yeah, Kurt Malosky wanted a word with an official during the break, and you could kind of see him shouting that it should have been 5 minutes. The hit was to the head, but the official does make the call as slash, and as a result, the Roughnecks will be on the power play for 2 or less. Again, trying to get back in this one. The last time it was tied was 4-4, and then the Rush went on a 4-goal run to get up to an 8-4 score. And the Roughnecks now trying to claw back in this one, find themselves with an 8-10 deficit. And they hope to cut into that here on the power play.
Well, and again, this power play for a lot of the games this season, Ryan, has really helped them get back into games or win games. Unusual to see them 0 for so far tonight, 0 for 3, but a chance to get on the board here in the late stage of the third quarter. Veltman goes behind the net. That's where Evans is. Evans to Veltman. Tries to find Shatler on top of the crease. Can't. Evans with a nice move there to escape some attention. Curls behind the net. Pass to Shatler. Scores! Shatler right on top of the crease. Give him 4 goals. And the Calgary Roughnecks are back to within 1.
Great play from the Calgary Roughnecks there. Bob McMahon really colored that one in properly as Sean Evans was just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth behind the net before eventually finding Shatler, who was wide open all alone in front of the crease. Great play there from the offensive coach, Bob McMahon. And the Calgary Roughnecks now back within 1 as Jeff Shatler gets his 4th.
Now here's Tor Reinhold in transition. Reinhold to the net, and he puts one in on Bolt, stepping in the crease. Would not have counted, but a nice rush there by the youngster.
Yeah, Tor Reinhold trying to contribute offensively, has been kind of up and down the lineup this year, and Bold stopping that one and keeping it a 1-goal lead.
Now here's Knight. Knight swings it across. Finds his man, and then gets the return pass. Knight, nice move, another nice move, and scores! Oh my goodness, what a goal by Curtis Knight as he dances around a couple Calgary defenders and then puts a sweet bounce shot past Mike Poulin.
If you're looking, that's hashtag NLL Top 10 1-0. What a goal from Knight there. I mean,
he's feeling it tonight.
That is as pretty as it's going to get here tonight in a game where we haven't seen many of the prettier goals. Knight gets it done there. And again, hashtag NLL Top 10.
Tor Reinhold with a nice move to escape the attention of Jeremy Thompson, as once again the Roughnecks are chasing down by 2 goals. They've been in that state for most of this one, but they played that way last weekend and got 2 wins. Now Shatler with a bounce shot. Rebound to Scott Ranger. He flashes on the opportunity, and the Edmonton Rush now back the other way. There's LaFontaine with the ball. He passes off to Church. Church then to Matthews. He puts a nice move around the defender and then misses up high. As the Edmonton Rush pulling out some new tricks here in the second half. Harnett takes the ball. Now looking to pass. Curls off his man. Harnett to the net. Tries to stuff it in. Stepped in the crease, but Greg Harnett showing some offensive flair.
Yeah, nice little spin move to move past his man and put one in on Aaron Bold, but took 1 step too many.
Now here's Corey Conway. Passes off. Edmonton leading 11-9. 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Here's Knight. Knight scoring that beautiful goal moments ago. Now here's Conway. Can't take the pass cleanly. Eventually bounces to Poole, and he plays it ahead to Carson Leung. Leung's got tons of floor ahead of him. Leung all the way. Shoots. Bold the save. Rebound pops to Evans. Evans to Doby, but he can't find the pass. And now fights for it on the wall. Eventually it comes loose, and the Edmonton Rush have it now with 90 seconds to go here in the third quarter. 11-9. Edmonton continues to lead 34-30. They also lead on shots on goal. Here's Davis for Edmonton. Davis hits a man off the bench. That was Riley Lowen, who's had a good game here. Coolin makes the save, and Calgary recovers the ball. Dan McRae now in transition with 1:10 to go here in the third quarter. A third quarter in which Calgary has got back into this game but have yet to tie it back up. Right now it's a 2-goal deficit, 11-9. There's a tough take for Evans. Evans now throws it off the board. Ranger can't control it. Goes all the way to Bold eventually. He's up with it. Plays it to Jeremy Thompson, who has Davis ahead of him. Jared Davis now into the Calgary end of the floor. Has some space, shoots, and just whips it wide. Comes all the way out to Harnett, who plays it to the other Harnett as the brothers pass it. And now off the bench and receiving the pass is Jeff Shatler. 30 seconds to go, 19 seconds on the shot clock. Here is Evans. Got Dixon over there with him. Evans tries to cut to the net. It's going to go behind the net now. As he plays it out in front, picked off nicely there by LaFontaine for the Edmonton Rush. Now 14 seconds to go here in the third quarter, so the Rush will hold for one more opportunity here. Matthews has it. They're going to have to create something fairly quickly here as we're down to 5 seconds. Knight to Conway, back to Knight. He shoots, Poulin the save. Rebound is there, and Poulin makes another save. The ball ends up in the net, but not until after time had expired, and we'll head to the final quarter with the score 11-9. The Edmonton Rush with the 2-goal lead.
Yeah, nice solid quarter there from the Calgary Roughnecks, rebounding after a rough quarter in the second quarter rather, as they found themselves trailing heading into the half by a 9-5 score, and now we've got an 11-9 score, so the Roughnecks getting 2 back there in quarter 3. Looks like Kayla is down there ready to talk to Jeff Shatler.
Number 77, Jeff Shatler. Kayla?
Thanks a lot, Mookie. Jeff, we've been talking about intensity all night, and I want to continue with that right now. Coach said going into the third quarter that he wasn't really pleased with what you guys brought to the floor in the first half. Do you think that you've matched it in the third quarter there?
I think we got better from the second half, but I think we could do a lot better. You know, they're a great team, and we gotta get to their tempo, and I think fourth quarter has always been a good quarter for us, so we'll see what happens.
On a lighter note, 4 goals to transition into the second half by you. I don't want to give away the game plan, but is the game plan pass the ball to you and no one else?
No, God, no. Our whole offense is key. There are a lot of great shooters on our offense, so you gotta defend us all. So I just got the lucky breaks that period. So hopefully one of our boys steps up here and we take the W home.
Okay, well, good luck in the fourth quarter. Thanks a lot for this.
Thank you.
This is Jeff Shatler.
All right, thanks, Kayla. That's Jeff Shatler. 4 goals in that third quarter, and your score 11-9. The Edmonton Rush lead by 2 entering the final frame. We'll be back with that final quarter. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
Support the National Lacrosse League and show the world you're a fan with team merchandise from the National Lacrosse League official online store, shop.nll.com. You'll find a great selection of National Lacrosse League team items, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, accessories, and more. You'll also find great customer service, 365-day hassle-free returns, and fast shipping. So show the world you support the National Lacrosse League with official gear from shop.nll.com.
Evans flip pass. Here's a shot. Dixon to the net. Scores! Curtis Dixon again. It's 11-10 Calgary.
Want more great NLL action? Subscribe to the Lacrosse Network on your computer, tablet, or mobile device for access to all the games, live on YouTube. Get highlight reels, interactive player interviews, and behind-the-scenes coverage on all your favorite teams. YouTube.com/TLN. Subscribe today.
Wide of the left post, ball way up in the air. Dixon trying to gather it in, does so. Nearly falls, but manages to stay on his feet. With 13:30 to go and 11-9 Edmonton lead. Calgary will get another chance here. Here's Schattler, 4 goals on the game. Evans now receives the pass. He tries the shot and whips it just wide. And Calgary just puts the loose ball down to the corner and will gather back on defense.
Yeah, a couple chances there for Calgary, but unable to put one on Aaron Bold. And as a result, the Edmonton Rush will get a chance to add to their 2-goal lead as they get in there.
Knight works it down to the corner. To Matthews, Conway to Matthews. Matthews now with a step. Matthews to the net. Puts the shot as high over the left corner. That's where he was trying to go on Poole and misses there. And Calgary gets the ball back. Still tons of time in this one and just a 2-goal lead for the Edmonton Rush. Shots on goal 37-32 favoring the Rush in this one. Here is Scott Ranger. Ranger plays it to Schattler off the bench. And then Schattler puts it high in the air to the corner. That's where Dixon gets it. Now Dixon has a step. Dixon shoots and just misses the corner. And then Scott Ranger couldn't get the rebound. Now Cornwall for the Rush in transition. Try to play it to Knight. Interrupted by Dan McRae. He's up with the ball now, looking for Manning. Bounces it to him well ahead of the play. Manning has Jeff Snyder with him, but instead is going to go to the Sean Evans off the bench. Now Evans looking up. Plays it to Veltman. To Doby, back to Veltman. And then to Doby, he tries to stuff it in. No goal, Doby in the crease as he was right on top of Aaron Bold. Score remains 11-9, 12 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter.
And Kurt Milosky's watching this replay very closely, but yeah, Dane Doby in the crease. No question about that one. A flag goes back into the pocket.
Now Matthews with it, swim move on the defender. Matthews with a step, passes through the slot area. Edmonton gets it back, and eventually Lowen gets the shot on goal. Nice save there by Mike Poulin off a broken play. Now Calgary with the ball, Tor Reinhold plays it to Dane Doby. He takes a couple cross checks, and eventually it comes to Evans on the left side. Evans now, double team, so he passes to Ranger. He shoots him. Bold with another big save there on Scott Ranger, bidding for the hat trick. Now here's Lowen for the Edmonton Rush. Has Greer with him, and he's going to give the ball to Greer. Greer guarded on the play by Manning. Passes up high to Knight. Knight then goes down low on the other side. Now here's a chance for Greer and a big save by Poulin as the goalies are coming to play here in the fourth quarter. Now Calgary in transition. Here's Dan McRae with a nice move. McRae to Snyder. He shoots and a save there by Bold. Rebound to Doby. He collects it and slows the play down. Has Schattler now off the bench along with Evans and Dixon and Veltman, who has the ball now. Back to Schattler. Schattler over to the Dixon. Now Dixon loads, fires, and puts it off the pad of Bold, who I don't think saw that one. Just happened to get his leg in the way of it. Now Dixon finds his own loose ball. Bounces it to Doby. Doby to Schattler. 10-10 to go here in the game. Now Veltman in front. and Lynch got enough of his stick. Now rebound to Dixon, and Bold stops Dixon again, as Aaron Bold with several good stops here in the fourth quarter.
You want a good look at the guy that's probably going to win goaltender of the year? How about you watch that sequence back? Bold with several saves, keeping the Roughnecks offense from getting this one back within one.
9:45 to go in the game. Edmonton leads this one 11-9. Here's Matthews. Matthews tries to find Greer cutting to the net. Couldn't find him. Matthews gets the rebound, though. Behind the net, stuff play. Can't make it work. Greer has it, though. Poulin actually stopping that attempt by Matthews, so Edmonton does get the fresh 30 off of that attempt from Mark Matthews. He's got the reach to do that, too. In that case, though, Poulin was able to stop it. Now Church with the ball, and it will be Calgary possession on the check from behind. And with 9:19 to go here in the fourth quarter and an 11-9 rush lead, we have a timeout on the floor. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
Come on, boys, let's go get him, mate.
Back on track tonight. We're going out here. We're in our barn. No one touches us here tonight. Come in here tonight. We're in the high field. Let's go. Fire it up here. Greatness on three. 1, 2, 3. Greatness!
Rock versus Buffalo, Friday, April 18th. For the best ticket in town, visit TorontoRock.com.
For the Edmonton Rush, tonight is their final road game of the regular season. They finish up their regular season slate with home games against Calgary next Saturday at 7 p.m. and then on Friday, April 25th against Vancouver at 7:30 p.m. Tickets for those games and playoff home games at Rexall Place now on sale. For more information, visit EdmontonRush.com. 9:19 to go. It is the Rush in town here tonight against the Calgary Roughnecks. Edmonton enjoying a 2-goal lead, 11-9. In what has been a very tight game most of the way, but one that the Edmonton Rush have led for the bulk of the time, Ryan, and really Calgary's been in that chase mode for most of this one.
And you did just see the attendance numbers come up, 15,167. Wow. By far the biggest crowd of the season here for the Calgary Roughnecks. And frankly, looking down and around the rows, not as many Rush fans as the last time we saw Edmonton here in town, but 15,167, the biggest crowd of the year, comes out for the final home game of the regular season.
And that is great to see, such a great crowd here. I was looking at it and thinking it was a big crowd, but that is even bigger than I thought. So fantastic news and a good game that they have witnessed between these two provincial foes. Ball escapes of the Calgary Roughnecks this time down the floor, so Edmonton takes over. 8:49 to go here, and Cornwall has it for the Rush. Cornwall looking for help and gives it to Lowen, and eventually the ball comes over to the near side to Mark Matthews. Matthews then swings it across to Church, who has the ball drop out of his stick briefly. No one around him, though, so he does recover. And nice job there by Mike Poulin to just get his stick on a pass attempt and interrupt that play. Now here's an opportunity. Doby in, one-on-one, scores! Dane Doby, and it's 11-10.
You know, it's just a matter of time before Dane Doby's going to come streaking off the bench and put one home, as they've done countless times here in the Saddle Dome here in front of us. Dane Doby with that play off the bench. 47 goals if you need them for Dane Doby this season, as he puts a patented one behind and makes it an 11-10 game.
And of those 47, Ryan, how many would you say were exactly like that
It's
one?
got to be 15 or 20. That guy, that play is something they practice every week, and it works to perfection 1 or 2 times a game. Dane Doby getting it done for the Calgary Roughnecks.
So again, we're into a 1-goal game here. Edmonton with the 11-10 lead. Matthews looking to answer here for the Rush. Passes off in this case. Gives it to Knight. Back to Matthews. Pass to the slot area, but well defended there is Davis. Poulin jumps on it. Poulin has Carson Leung ahead of the play. Just getting out of the reach of the rookie. He tracks it down in the corner. Takes a big hit, but absorbs that hit and gives it to Jeff Snyder. Nice play there by the rookie to keep that play alive. Now Pete McFedridge with the ball. Plays off to Scotty Ranger. 11-10, 7.5 minutes to go in this one. Curtis Dixon with the ball. Dixon with a step to the slot area, scores! Curtis Dixon ties the game. It's 11-11.
You got the ball and you need a goal. It's coming from Curtis Dixon. This guy is absolute money in the fourth quarter, and he does it here again tonight, tying the game with 7:24 to go. The Roughnecks have completed the comeback. We got a fresh start to this lacrosse game. 53 minutes in. Don't go anywhere. This one's turned into a good one.
First goal of the game for Curtis Dixon, but as always, it comes at a big time as he steps out and then just beats Aaron Bold. Face-off starting to become more and more important. This one squirts loose to the Edmonton Rush. They recover it in their own zone. Bannister's going to go behind his net, come out the other side, and then move it quickly down the floor. Long pass into the corner. Gets in front, scores! What a bounce! And Lowen cashes in off just a bizarre play.
The old expression, you got to be lucky to be good and good to be lucky. I mean, that ball bounces out of the corner off the that advertising sign in the corner right to Lowen in front. I mean, you couldn't have planned that any better. I'm sure that wasn't the plan from the Edmonton Rush, but they restore the lead, make it 12-11 Edmonton.
Off an assist to the State Farm ad in the corner, give the goal to Lowen, and it's 12-11 Edmonton, as they badly needed a bounce, and they got a big one literally right there in their favor, and they now have the 1-goal lead. Face-off win goes to Dilks, and the Edmonton Rush now back on top, looking for a bit of insurance. Greer shoots, Poulin the save, and gathers in the rebound. That's a big save for Poulin. Now Carson Leung in transition, has some floor ahead of him. Edmonton closes that gap off quickly though, and Leung instead will pass off to Evans. Evans tries to find Shatler in front. Shatler, a chance, bounces it on net. Saved by Bold, as the Roughnecks almost got their own favorable bounce there. Ball chopped, Dixon in on it. Bold there as well with his big stick. Ball is still loose. Dixon battling for it. And as he did so, I think he stepped in the crease.
Yeah, he did. This will be Edmonton ball, but Curtis Dixon almost got it loose from Bold as well. The crowd not happy with the call, but it was the correct one. Curtis Dixon took that one step in the crease.
John Lintz with the ball, passing off. Lowen, the go-ahead goal here, plays it to Conway. There's a shot that a stick gets in the way of, up into the netting. Poulin out to gather it in.
Wow, calling that one in favor of the Edmonton Rush, giving them ball back. And crowd not happy with that one. They might have a better case. I thought that one was a stick check. But nevertheless, the Edmonton Rush have the ball in a 1-goal lead.
Fresh 30 as well now, Matthews. Nice move, Matthews to the net. Just puts it high, rebound to the Rush. There's a shot, that's wide of the net. And comes out all the way the other side. Battleford on the wall, big hit, but Davis absorbs it. Davis tries the shot from a tricky angle, that's wide as well. And Dan McRae finally gets it for the Calgary Roughnecks ahead to Jeff Snyder, who enters the Edmonton zone.
Gets the signal from the bench to slow down.
Scott Ranger diving to save that ball. Does recover it. Now plays it to Darryl Veltman. 5 minutes to go here. And now here's an opportunity. Cutting to the net. Ball squirts loose though, as Dane Dobie couldn't get the shot off. And now the Edmonton Rush try to walk away. Nice back check by Evans though to steal the ball. Evans swings it across to Scott Ranger, and with the shot clock expiring, he just lets it go. And with the score 12-11, we will take our final timeout of this one and wrap this one up when we get back. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.
Support the National Lacrosse League and show the world you're a fan with team merchandise from the National Lacrosse League official online store, shop.nll.com. You'll find a great selection of National Lacrosse League team items, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, accessories, and more. You'll also find great customer service, 365-day hassle-free returns, and fast shipping. So show the world you support the National Lacrosse League with official gear from shop.nll.com.
Here's a shot, Dixon to the net, scores! Curtis Dixon again! And It's 11-10 Calgary.
Want more great NLL action? Subscribe to the Lacrosse Network on your computer, tablet, or mobile device for access to all the games, live on YouTube. Get highlight reels, interactive player interviews, and behind-the-scenes coverage on all your favorite teams. YouTube.com/TLN. Subscribe today.
Game here will wrap up this weekend's NLL action. Fans in the U.S. can watch a replay of tonight's Buffalo-Minnesota game on Universal Sports Network this Thursday at 5 Eastern. And on Friday, join us again live here on the Lacrosse Network to kick off another great weekend of NLL action as Toronto will host Buffalo. That one starts at 7 Eastern. Here tonight, this one's still up for grabs. The Edmonton Rush leading this one 12-11, 4:47 to go in the fourth quarter, and it will be Edmonton possession.
Yeah, Edmonton's going to be looking for that insurance goal here as the Calgary Roughnecks have stormed back in the second half. They were down by a score of 9-5 going into the half. Since then, outscoring them 6-3 and really looking to finish and complete the comeback here. But the Edmonton Rush will look to put the nail in this game here.
And there's the insurance goal they were looking for as Robert Church just puts one through Mike Poulin.
Yeah, got to center and just fired it in. And as a result, Mike Poulin finds himself now with a 13th goal behind him. And the Edmonton Rush, as you mentioned, Grant, the insurance goal comes through.
Well, and this is what's so hard about chasing the entire night, Ryan, is that you have one bounce goal, you're opposite your way, and all of a sudden you're back down by 2 again. And the Calgary Roughnecks with work to do here in the last 4.5 minutes. But they're going to have to get the ball back first as the Edmonton Rush come up with a big face-off win there. This is LaFontaine. LaFontaine just looking for help from the offense. Gets it from Curtis Knight. And now Knight to Zach Greer. Greer into traffic, passes off. And then Lowen gets the ball back. Lowen's goal right now stands to be the game winner. That funny bounce off the corner. There's a shot by Greer. Poulin makes the save and then gets his own rebound and gathers it in. Now under 4 minutes to go. The Calgary Roughnecks are going to have to start cashing in on some opportunities here as they are running out of time quickly. Evans has the ball. Evans delivers to Curtis Dixon, and then Dixon passes to Veltman. Veltman to Schattler. Schattler now back to Evans. Evans has some room. Evans now going to cut to the net, puts a shot. Stick got on his stick, and the ball goes all the way up into the crowd here. Nice defense there by the Edmonton Rush to get in the way of that Sean Evans attempt.
Yeah, nice stick check there from the defense to keep it that 2-goal lead.
Now Church has it. Church with the insurance goal moments ago for the Edmonton Rush to Lowen. Lowen back to Church. Church to Matthews. Matthews with a nice move. Passes off. There's Lowen with a pass. High and off the back wall. And then Matthews tries to stuff it in. Lowen picks it up there, and the shot clock will expire. 3 minutes exactly to go here on the game clock, and the Calgary Roughnecks are down by 2. This is Mike Carnegie. Carnegie bounces it into the stick of Curtis Dixon, who ducks under his man. And now Dixon gives it to Scott Ranger. Ranger throws it through the entire slot area. Daryl Veltman couldn't find it. Ranger eventually got it back, and now Dane Doby has it. Dane Doby thinks about a shot, now passes off looking for Ranger. He can't find it. And a nice defensive set there by the Edmonton Rush as the Roughnecks don't even get a sniff of the Rush net.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy play from the Roughnecks there offensively on that possession. Just seemed like the passes weren't connecting, and with not much time to go, they're going to need that to start happening.
They need to stop here first as the Edmonton Rush are looking for the proverbial nail in the coffin this time down the floor as they're up by 2, looking for that 3-goal lead. Here's Greer cutting to the net, passes to no one, eventually does find a player in the form of Davis. His shot hits a defender, and Calgary will get the ball back here with exactly 2 minutes to go here as they are starting to run out of possessions here. Picking it up is Jeff Schattler. Schattler has Evans calling for it, so he gives him the ball. Now down low to Dixon. This is usually the time he shines. Backing in, shoots and gets it through Bold, but out the other side. Now Dane Doby battling behind the net for it. Couple Edmonton Rush players in there, now 3 of them, and they come out with the ball with 1:34 to go here. The Edmonton Rush will look to kill clock here, certainly this time down the floor. They nearly throw it away. However, escaping attention is Knight. Now Knight plays it to Lowen. Rather than take the shot, just curls away again, killing clock to Key. Now Matthews tries the move. He passes to Church, and then Church to Knight. And with 5 seconds on the shot clock, Knight's just going to put it on net. Scores! Curtis Knight with the goal. And with 1:07 to go, the Edmonton Rush lead by 3. That should just about do it. Curtis Knight with a monster night. 5 goals for him and 8 points overall.
Yeah, Curtis Knight gets it done there and puts it behind Mike Poulin, and you can see he's kind of deflated here, and Mike Poulin is going to be called. Well, I think they were trying to call him to the bench, but Jeremy Thompson wins the face-off.
Now Thompson, Snyder tries to get a hold of him, can't, and it's thrown away. Dixon has it. Calgary's going to look for a quick strike opportunity here. Dixon down the floor, winds and fires off the defender, ball to Doby. Doby plays it to Evans, Poulin to the bench. Evans now cutting to the net. He shoots it off the post. The ball comes Edmonton's way. They got a chance here at the empty net. Corbeil's in there, and he's just going to throw it in there to make it a 15-11 game here and seal the deal.
Yeah, that'll do it for the Calgary Roughnecks tonight. But if you're the Calgary Roughnecks, you have to take positives away from this game. After being beaten so soundly the first 2 times they played them, to have this one be this close late, and with another game to go, it's going to be a matter of improving. And the Calgary Roughnecks can certainly take a look at this game tape as a way to play the Edmonton Rush.
I want to correct myself too, Ryan. That goal by Curtis Knight here, that 13th goal, actually making the score. Pardon me, the 14th goal. That's the sock trick goal for Curtis Knight, his 6th of the night and 9th point, as he has just been amazing in this game. 6 goals, including that 14th one. Now 15-11. Should pretty much be the final, as the Edmonton Rush have possession now, and they're just going to throw it around and kill some clock. And after losing their first game of the season down in Denver last night, the Edmonton Rush come back, and in rebound mode, they do exactly that, handing the Roughnecks a 15-11 defeat, 3rd straight time this season that the Edmonton Rush have handled the Roughnecks.
And the third, I believe the 3rd time they put 15 up on the Calgary Roughnecks. But like I was saying, Grant, there were positives to take from this game. And they need to look at what was working here in the second half and keep that going. And for my money, that's moving the ball as quickly, as fast as possible. Off-ball movement also very important for this team. And again, with second place locked up, and with first place locked up for the Rush, this was a game tonight about learning what you can do, learning what works against this defense, and looking towards a potential playoff matchup. Not, of course, that I'm looking past the Colorado Mammoth, but you know that you have to play Edmonton in the future, so game planning for that future, it was certainly important here tonight.
Well, really, the game turned on that Lowen goal there in the 4th quarter, just moments after Calgary had tied the game. They have that long pass that goes down to the corner, bounces off the boards, straight into the hands of Lowen, who beats Mike Poulin. And from that point forward, it really was Edmonton who just ran away with it in the final moments. 15-11, a score that really doesn't tell the tale about how close this game was. Far closer than the previous 2 contests between these 2 clubs. But Calgary has some work to do against their provincial foes as of yet. They will get one more crack at them in the regular season before the playoffs start. Again, the Roughnecks know they'll have one home playoff date. It'll be either against the Vancouver Stealth or the Colorado Mammoth, and the winner of that game will move on to face the Edmonton Rush. 3 stars tonight. Dane Doby, the 3rd star for the Calgary Roughnecks. 2nd star, Curtis Knight. 6 goals, 9 points in this game for Curtis Knight. And the number 1 star from the Calgary Roughnecks, Jeff Shatler. But Ryan, what can you say about Curtis Knight? This is like a star-making performance. He's a good player. Came into the game leading the team in goals, tied with Zach Greer, and he puts up the sock trick tonight. This is an emerging star on this team.
Yeah, again, another example of a good young player that the Edmonton Rush found in the draft, and they bring him in, and like Mark Matthews a year ago, really breaking out here this year. A sock trick. There's not much more you can say when a guy gets a sock trick, but a remarkable performance from that young man here tonight. And the Edmonton Rush regain their winning ways, a 15th win with a 15-11 victory over the Calgary Roughnecks.
Now checking out the stat sheet, other offensive leaders for the Edmonton Rush give Riley Lowen a hat trick as well, 3 goals and 1 assist. You have a good effort from Mark Matthews, 2-2, 1-2 from the defenseman Chris Corbeil, Robert Church 1-4. Nice evening for the rookie, and Zach Greer goes 1-1. A rather quiet night against the Roughnecks for Zach Greer. Corey Conway, the ex-rigger, chipping in with 7 helpers as well. So a good night for number 91 as he continues his resurgence up in Edmonton this season. For Calgary Roughnecks, Jeff Shatler, 4 goals in this one, all coming in the third quarter. Scott Ranger and Dane Doby both 2-2. Curtis Dixon and Sean Evans both 1-3. And Dan McRae continues his strong season as he gets 1 goal and 1 helper as well. Mike Poulin takes the loss as he gives up 15 goals on 46 shots. Aaron Bold back in the win column, 11 goals on 41 shots, and you can make the final 15-11. A couple other reminders for you folks. If you're up in Edmonton, tonight is the Rush final road game of the season. That means you have 2 more chances to see the team at Rexall Place before the playoffs. The first one against Calgary next Saturday at 7 p.m. and then on Friday, April 25th against Vancouver, 7:30 p.m. For your tickets and for all the playoff home games, visit EdmontonRush.com. This one tonight wraps up the regular season for the Calgary Roughnecks here at the Scotiabank Saddledome. Your next chance to watch them will be in the playoffs in that semifinal playoff game, win or go home against the Colorado Mammoth or the Vancouver Stealth. Watch for details on that one on CalgaryRoughnecks.com.
And of course, the Calgary Roughnecks are offering a package to fans of the team. If you want to go up and see the game in Edmonton, you get a ticket and a bus ride to and from Edmonton. And I believe there's a couple other things involved there as well. But you'll see the Edmonton Rush and Calgary Roughnecks a week from tonight for $75. You can contact the Roughnecks and get that ride up there. And wouldn't it be nice to put a couple hundred fans in the building for the Roughnecks next week as they look to defeat the Edmonton Rush. Also want to give a shout out to the Edmonton Rush, the best 16-game record in NLL history, going 15-1. 14-2 had been done twice before, but with, of course, the extended regular season this year going to 18 games, they'll have a chance to win the most games in NLL history potentially, but already eclipsing that record with a 15th win here tonight for most wins in a regular season in NLL history.
Our game here wraps up this weekend's NLL action. Fans in the U.S. can watch a replay of tonight's Buffalo-Minnesota game. That's on Universal Sports Network Thursday at 5 Eastern. And on Friday, join us again live here on the Lacrosse Network to kick off another great weekend of NLL as Toronto will host Buffalo at 7 Eastern. Once again, your final 15-11. Ryan, final thoughts?
Well, just again, this game closer than the score indicated. Certainly the Roughnecks got themselves into a chase position with a very bad second quarter, and that's something that they can take away from this game. You can't afford to sleep on the Edmonton Rush. If you give them any kind of room, they're going to hammer you, and that's what happened in the second quarter tonight. The comeback was a furious attempt, but they were in a chase position for too long and weren't able to maintain it. At the end of the day, a good home season for the Calgary Roughnecks. I'm looking forward to being back in the booth here for the playoffs in a few weeks, but again, full marks to the Edmonton Rush for another win here tonight and the best 16-game record in NLL history.
Once again, your final 15-11. The Edmonton Rush beat the Calgary Roughnecks. For Ryan Ballantyne, my name is Grant Farhall. You've been watching the National Lacrosse League on the Lacrosse Network.